And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lost Caravan RPG, where we do one-shots, we do mini campaigns, we do long-running campaigns. If it's CTRPGs, we pretty much do it all. I am not Hooper. However, I am stealing his place for the evening. My name is James Beck. I'm going to be the GM. And unfortunately, while not looking as good as Hoop, I am here. I am joined by a lovely cast of players who are going to be dealing with my incessant ranting about my favorite setting of all time, Numeria. It is one of the many countries of Galarian, the main setting of the Pathfinder universe. And before we do that, let's get through some quick announcements. If you want to hang out and join us, be on our lovely crew or on stream, play many different games with us, join the link down below. I'm pretty sure it's a Discord or a mod will throw it into chat. I don't remember all of the other announcements off the top of my head. I just remember really that one's the big one. I was not informed of anything new, so go check out all of the cool stuff, like our VODs on our YouTube channel, where we have hours upon hours upon hours of various different games. So if you ever wanted to learn a game, great way to experience it. From Cult to Pathfinder to Delta Green, it's kind of insane how much that happens on this channel. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our players for the evening. In no particular order, because I do love some chaos. Let's start with Alice. Alice, tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight. Oh, can't hear you. What the fuck? I don't know. I don't know why. OBS is being mean. I swear, you do everything right, and then you hit go live, and then it all breaks all at once. I know. I'm so evil. Oh, for sure. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I am so sorry, everybody. So mean. All right, there we go. It's still not working. I'm gonna lose my mind, and then it's gonna be all good. Okay. Well, hopefully that did the trick. Go ahead and start talking again. Nope. We're gonna be right back because tech gremlins have already messed things up. Okay. Once again, I am so sorry, everybody. Um, things are weird. I don't know why things don't work, but things are annoying. Alice, please try again.
Champion.
Listen, I'm trying. Okay. This is like I've never seen this happen before. It springs up for like a second and then goes away. Try again.
Can you hear me
There it goes.
now?
We can hear you. Jesus. All right.
Yay.
Took a bunch of tries. OBS just is straight up not complying tonight, and I don't know why.
Who knows? But hi, guys. I am Alice. She, they pronouns. I am playing tonight the champion of Desna, Rowan Bramblepeak. Let's just hope everyone heard that so I don't have to do it a fourth time.
It looks like the audio is getting picked up. All right, next up is Dido.
I'm Dido. Tonight I will be playing Heka, the life.
The life. All right. Next up is Jim.
Good evening. I'm Jim. I use he, him pronouns. And this evening I will be playing the rogue Jorek Havel.
And last but not least, Mary.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. I use she, her pronouns. And tonight I am going to be playing Tiffany. No last name because she literally can't remember it.
Love it. Well, of course, I am James. I'm your lovely, humble dungeon master, game master. It's been that kind of day, folks. Math really does stuff to your head that it shouldn't be allowed to do. We are playing in the realm or the country of Numeria. You see, I'm going to give a little bit of a preamble text, so don't mind the nerd glasses being metaphorically pushed up. A long time ago in Numeria, an event called the Rain of Stars happened. Basically, a giant spaceship crashed into the land and scattered its parts all about the country. A bunch of barbarians found it, started dying due to radioactive poisoning, radiation poisoning, blowing themselves up with various grenades, bombs, or running into robots. So they buried it. And over the last few centuries, stuff has been coming back alive, including androids. And for a long time, androids were considered second-class citizens and were used as the labor workforce primarily due to slavery from the Technic League. Technic League can be summed up pretty simply as evil wizard Nazis who loved technology just a little too much. They were not good people, and over the last about 8 years ago, a group of adventurers came through and disbanded the Technic League by forcibly killing them. It's kind of easy to deal with the Nazi problem when you have a bunch of dead Nazis. They managed to also free the Black Sovereign from his drunken high stoop. Essentially, he was being influenced by a drug known as Numerian fluid, and thankfully he has beaten the habit and has gone through rehabilitation, has come out a stronger man, and has started his quest on uniting all of Numeria, which means all the barbarian tribes underneath one banner. He's been having some troubles with that, but that is not where we're going to be focusing our attention tonight. Oh, wait, hold on. We had a raid come in. Hello, lollygaggers. Yeah. Welcome. Sorry, I was the one time I don't look immediately at the chat at anything. We are in the town of Torch. You see, Numeria is a desert land mostly, and Torch is no exception to this fact. It has one single river running through it that has been infected from time to time, depending on how you ran your Iron Gods game. For those who are worried about spoilers, here's your spoiler alert now for an 8-year-old adventure path called Iron Gods, written by a bunch of great people. I know one or two of them. And this is only gonna be spoilers for maybe book 1 and 2. I'm not gonna spoil anything more than the technically dies. It doesn't end well for them. There's a few scattered members, but that is just more of a thing. I see you guys in chat. Chill with that. We're in the town of Torch. You see, Torch is known as Torch because there is a constant burning violet light that shoots into the sky, much like many superhero films when they're trying to prove a point that the world is gonna end. You see, this was part of the wreckage of a spaceship known as Divinity. Divinity held many life forms, and that is what the Iron God's adventure path follows, is the wreckage of the starship Divinity. But adventurers about 8 years ago, when Kohanar Bane was taken by an android named Mayanda for some, let's just say, experiments, the adventurers managed to explore this underground spaceship and had basically cleared it out. There's no more threats in the town of Torch over the last 8 years. There was a worry for a time that technically spies would manage to crop up, but with the full disbanding of the Technic League, things have been relatively calm. And for anybody who's been in Numeria long enough, you've known that things are pretty lackluster. You know, it's your average day. A lot of people come in for smithing because Torch is one of the only places that you can actually melt sky metal into materials so you can forge it into whatever you need it. Numerian steel is the most famous type of steel in this region. The other one being adamantine. You guys are too low level. Don't even start asking for adamantine equipment. I've already looked at the level requirement,
James,
but no.
please.
Aw, James.
I'm
I won't
so
be a
evil.
menace if you
I'm
do.
so evil. No, I'm sorry. I gotta follow what the rules say.
No, you don't.
You're right. I don't, but I'm going to. See, you are all called to a council meeting. A council sits over Torch and are typically what bars people from getting into, it's a typical local town council. They picture as stereotypical as you can. It is in, you are called to be there at 6 p.m. So I'm going to start with the question, who has been in Torch for a while? Like, maybe at least a day to a few days to have been here for even longer. All right, Doc, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your character and what they've been up to today before the meeting.
So, Jarek, probably within the last few years, had his band of folks what crouch out in the wastelands over by scrap wall. They kind of they were rather duly annihilated by other gangs. And so he set off to find work on his own. He is a blacksmith as part of what he does. And so he has come to this town to try to pick up work, and he's been here for, we could say, if it works for you, we could say he's been here he could be here months, weeks, whatever works.
You could say if he's been here for a while. I'm good with that.
Yeah, just picking up odd jobs wherever he can get them. Because it's what he's used to do is sort of rooting through places, finding arcane stuff. But there's but he also happens to know how to take hammer to anvil when he needs it, or or improvise hammers and anvils when he needs to. So he just basically is here doing what he can to get by on his own at this point.
Love it. Okay. Well, what does Jarek look like?
Well, Jorik is he's a bit disheveled. He is constantly a bit disheveled, as he is sort of hung out with the various barbarians of the wastes and what have you. So he is, but he's a little wirier than a lot of them tend to be. But he's like in his late 30s, early 40s. Probably looks a little more weather beaten, a little older than he probably is. So he has slightly graying hair. That's brown hair streaked slightly with gray. He has tattoos on his face and other parts of himself that perhaps their purpose will be revealed at some point. But in particular he has the one by the eye, and the others that are drawn much better than I attempted to in a preschool-like fashion shortly before this happened, and
great.
on his hands and what have you.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you. So he wears blackened leather and such, as it's meant to. At one time, perhaps it looked intimidating. At this point, he just sort of blends in. Pretty much. His days of directly, being at the front of the raid are kind of behind him at this point. At this point, he just sort of sneaks around and does what he needs to.
I would say that you probably spend most of your day working at Garrison Armory, getting paid in silver discs. So unlike silver, like the currency, silver discs are what players learn pretty quickly, so I don't mind spoiling this, is batteries. They're a bunch of little batteries. Imagine your entire currency runs on AAAs. That is exactly what it is. It's worth the same amount as a silver piece, but unlike normal like silver pieces that like might be minted in Absalom, these have all sorts of circuitry running about them and are actually commonly used. So you're probably paid roughly about 3 to 4 silver a day, which is above minimum wage for your work.
Bitcoins.
No, it's alien currency.
It has a deeper lore than that, but I feel like if I go more into depth here, I'm gonna bore people to fucking. It's gonna become like James rants for 4 hours of stream, and we don't really need that.
We open the almanac to page 976. Today we
He
see.
will pull out the book.
I have
Well,
it.
there's
They're
so
all
many
sitting right
large-
there. I have them all on reference. I have the Ire Gods Player's Guide up and handy just so I have any quick reference I need. I even have art of it that I could throw into chat if we really needed to get down to it. So yeah. As you are working, you get a letter from one of the sitting members of the council named Dolga Ferenson. She is an older individual with the you've seen her around. Older, typically wears like a green dress, has her hair that's been grayed all in a bun in the back. But the letter is basically a summons that your presence is needed at the town council tonight at 6. If you don't show up, the necessary fines will be like implemented and put against you. It's typical, like, not really a subpoena, but more of like a request, a summons, basically.
They say here you're supposed to be free of these taxes these people put on you. No, apparently that's not it. All right, fine. Whatever. He just goes back to working, muttering to himself, as he constantly does.
Love it. Okay. Alice, where would we find your character?
Rowan has just arrived in town.
Love it.
Quite probably literally.
You have been summoned as an outside consultant. Typically, they call upon their Church of Bry members for any religion-based like situations, but they felt like when you got your letter, it was basically saying something along the lines of, we would use the Church of Bry in this case, but we believe that their belief system would not be advantageous to us given the current situation that we find ourselves in. You are requested to be in the town of Torch by this date at 6 p.m. And unlike Jarek, who got a threat of, oh my god, we'll like tax the fuck out of you or impose a fine, you have just gotten a very polite message, just being like a cleric of, a champion of Desna or some holy figure would suffice.
Rowan is pretty sure he got called to court for something that he's done.
Love it. Yeah, you come in, I'm gonna say like southbound from it, so you are actually going to run into, you pass a few shops along your way. One of the most notable being a farm and a forgery that is right across the street from a bar. It looks pretty homely, and you see that given this time, it's around 5 p.m. It is filled with people getting off of their day, a bunch of blacksmiths, typically, because that's the local region and its economy, all having a drink, a callback a little bit, so I'm sorry for the Pathfinder 1E people. Val has grown up. So in the Pathfinder Iron Gods 1, for first edition, we meet her and she's about 12 years old. She's now 20 and is working with her father as her father is currently not here and is currently in the council. You see a younger woman, a human woman who has these blue tattoos all around her face. Probably some marking of study of some magical study. You don't recognize like the runes off the top of your head. This might be some Kellid runes. But has like wiry blonde hair, a giant grin on her face. And yeah, you have a little bit of downtime before or do you go right to town hall?
Rowan has definitely stopped in this tavern because he is lost and needs directions.
Val meets you with a giant smile. And she goes, "Hi, welcome. Can I offer you a seat or assistance?"
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been called to court for something. I think, and they didn't really give good directions in this to town hall. Like, I think I don't know what they thought it was easy to find. I guess I follow the goddess of travel, not the goddess of plan direction. So, help.
So, town hall is a little bit more northbound from here, but I am curious about you said the goddess of travel? Which one's that? As Alice disappears. Look at that. My magic is so strong.
It truly is the god of travel.
Exactly.
The goddess of travel has called Alice back.
Welcome back.
I'm not sure what my internet is up to tonight.
Like I
I
said,
might
tech
need to
gremlins
refresh.
it's been that kind of entire night. Basically Val asks you which deity do you follow?
Oh yeah. I am a champion of Desna.
Oh, that's fascinating. You see she summons a notebook to her hand and begins writing something down in it. She then like closes the book and it like with the quill both disappear into nothingness.
Oh, that's a cool trick.
Oh yeah, my dad taught it to me. I'm really proud of it. Oh, so
That's
yeah.
good. My dad taught me at a farm.
Ooh, wait, like desert farming or like but wait, from what region?
Like grass farming? I mean, we planted a lot of plants and we kept cattle and chickens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it counted as the desert though.
I've never seen a chicken before. That's fascinating.
They were fun. We did have one um, named Herbert that did just constantly go after my ankles. He was the biggest fucking cock around. That's at least what my sister always said. I didn't really get the joke, but she laughed at it every time.
I think I get the joke. It takes her like a solid it's an awkward laugh of I'm not quite sure how to handle that. Um but she goes, "Well, if you do need anything, you could just shout my name. If you need, there's a seat at the bar just for you. If you need like a drink or something, if you need to go to the town council, I'll be more than happy to give you um I can walk you there real quick if you need."
I mean, yeah, a drink sounds great, but it's probably not good if I'm actually in trouble to also show up drinking.
That's probably fair.
Um, so yeah, if I could just get the assistance, unless you need help with something.
Oh, no, I'm good. And you just see like uh I'm not gonna make you roll a religion check, but you see like floating almost floating dishware that is holding various food on it. It looks like a bunch of invisible servants are currently summoned to help around the place. So it looks like all hands are like all hands on deck. They're all pretty good right now. So she just escorts you out and begins making it's showing you around Torch, why it's called Torch. Is very curious on what you're in trouble for, but is not explicitly asking you for it. But it's just like keeps nodding at the fact.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself. I just came back from like a trip to the Hells, and I got a letter, so that was fun. Um, and I mean, like before that, there was just some like weird stuff going on. I tried to be squire for a little bit. That didn't really turn out well. Um, Otherwise, it could be a lot of stuff. I'm not sure.
See, I see. Fascinating. And she takes you down the hall. Dido, where would we
Yeah.
find your character? Like, how long have they been in Torch already? Are they arriving today? What's going on?
Uh, Hecka's probably been in Torch for a couple of months, maybe still fairly new, but like long enough to get moderately settled. She can probably be found at some kind of healing house or military barrack where she treats wounded soldiers and guards and stuff.
I see. Well, you're not a follower of Bry. The Temple of Bry would appreciate your assistance in ailing the sick and basically assisting people with clerical needs. And that is when you also get a letter very similar to the one uh that I'm still getting Rowan got, where except you got the line about we will impose a fine if you don't actually show up. You've been here for long enough that we could probably get away with this threat. Um, just in the middle of your workday, same name, Dolga. Um, and yeah, so in the middle of your workday, some dude has a broken leg. You just get a letter from one of the head leaders of the church just going that looks at you and go, "Yeah, Hecka, you gotta one of the council members dropped it off."
Okay. I mean, threats are unnecessary, but I mean, I guess that's how they get things done around here.
Yeah, probably. No, I don't know. Fucking temple's weird. Uh it starts like wandering off. The Temple of Bri, by the way, is filled with gears and all sorts of moving constructs. It's never quiet. Uh Bri is essentially the deity of clockwork. And so they have a bunch of ever moving pieces about their temple with a giant like clockwork statue almost sitting in the middle of it with her hands like in her like right below her chest where like offerings would be made and is a depiction of Barai. So as you get the letter, do you do anything different about your day, or do you just kind of go as usual, like through the routine.
I mean, did it give like a time frame as to like when to show up?
It said be there by 6.
Okay,
It's
then I
getting
will be
towards
there by 6.
Okay, it's getting towards the end of your day anyways. You are paid your gold. You get paid 1 gold piece per day, just given your services. And
What? I want to get paid in batteries.
well, you I mean, if you really wanted to get paid in 10 batteries per day, sure. It's a weird request.
Sorry, now I've got the Guardians of the Galaxy scene stuck in my head. We can move on.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna say you show up on time. Tiffany, where would we find your character?
I think that Tiffany also is very new to town. She's probably like frolicking through the city streets. She definitely walks around as though she's not quite all there, meaning like she is probably fantasizing about something in her own little world as she's walking through the streets, narrowly avoiding bumping into people and just kind of uh having a good old time as she's going through town.
I love that. So I would say you probably would spend a lot of your time around Silver Disc Hall. Unfortunately, the owner has passed away within the last decade, so it's currently being run by somebody else. Garmin Yura, in my headcanon, uh, completely got eviscerated by the adventuring group. I'm so sorry to anybody who's rooting for him to make it. Was such a dick when I ran him that every group I've ever ran him with brutally murdered him in a fight. Um, Silver Disc Hall is pretty much the gambling hall of Torch. Is where a lot of people find their entertainment. And as you were walking about, you are actually hand delivered a letter from Dolga, who looks at you and just goes, "Well, Tiffany, I regret to inform you that you have been summoned to the town council meeting tonight."
Oh, thank you so much. I am just so appreciative of this. Can you read it though?
Sure. Basically, the letter states that you have to appear in front of the town council over an important matter at 6 p.m. tonight. So roughly 20 minutes from now.
Oh, okay. And where's the council place?
This is why I came in person. All right, come on.
Good.
I'll show you. And like almost is like hand on your back. She's shorter than you. It is like kind of like pushing you along. Uh you are on the opposite end of where the council the town hall would be. So it takes you a better amount of 5 to 10 minutes to walk halfway across Torch to get there. And as you do, I'm going to say all of you are in the outside chambers of the town hall when Doga appears, looks at you all, gives you all like a reassuring nod of, "Okay, you're here." Um and she says to each of you, "We'll be called in very shortly. We'll get the proceeding going." And she walks in, closes the door, and you are all left to your own vices for a little bit.
So what's the option that I can just pay bail and have this over with?
Fail?
What'd you do?
I'm not really sure. They weren't really clear in the letter. They just told me I had to come. So it could really be for anything, which is why I'm hoping this is one of those ones that you can actually get bail on and not one that I actually have to serve time or anything. That'd be really awkward to explain to my parents.
I mean, it's a council meeting, so technically you have to serve time. It could be out.
Okay, does a council meeting mean it's like a bigger crime or like a lower crime? Because it might just be for like jaywalking or something, which I don't know. This is like traffic court.
I don't I don't think you're in trouble, dear. I think they're calling on you for your skills to help in a matter, maybe? Do you have a particular set of skills?
I mean, I already failed at trying to slay a dragon once, so if this is happening again, I'm not sure it's going to go over really well.
Oh God, you're adventurous.
Technically, yeah. Really, I
Oh.
just kind of travel around and help out where I need to. Um, I did not. I was not going to be a priest, so this was the other option that Desna wanted.
I like traveling around too. It's really fun going to new towns, and by the end of it, they know my name and hold parades with like pitchforks and things. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. That does sound really fun.
Uh,
Hopefully less of pitchfork time.
I hope so too. Those can kind of get a little bit scary.
A little messy.
I don't know what's wrong with pitchforks. They're really good with hay.
Hey, yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. Trust me, I've tried carrying that stuff around before. The cows really like it, but it is a handful when you're trying to move it by hand.
It would be really difficult to have to pick it up one by one. That would take a long time.
yeah, pitchforks are unwieldy. You can't get a good swing with them if you want to put them into somebody.
Well, that's what swords are for.
Yeah, no, I agree. He says he gestures. He's got a short sword at his side.
And Rowan definitely has like this giant like log sword on his back, and
I see we're open carrying in town hall.
where else do we put the weapons?
Honestly, fair question. Didn't have an answer for.
Did they take them at the door? In which
I
case,
feel like they would. No, you're allowed permission. With that though, you are all summoned into the council chambers. As you all enter, you see several benches that typically the public would sit in that are completely empty, and in front of you sits about 5 to 6 members that sit up high in their chairs, and you actually see somebody sitting in what appears to be a separate bench. A hooded figure, um can't make out any proper details from them outside the fact they looked imprisoned. So they have handcuffs on their hands, which leads down to chains on their legs, and you can't see anything except for that. As you enter, you're each told to sit in one of the respective benches when the session is called into meeting. An older gentleman, Koenar Bane, Alice, your character would not really recognize, but more of a has similar facial features to the young lady that you met at the bar. And he goes, "The session is in order for the Town of Torches council meeting on the problem of Mayanda. We have brought in several outside key figures to give their advice and their opinions on the matter. I call forth Pekka Arson, Jorek Havil, Rowan Bramblepeak, and Tiffany, no last name, to the foreground so we may discuss the matter. At which you then are all gestured to come up to the council.
I could go.
Tiffany just kind of glides up there.
All right. Well, figures. We have a particularly interesting dilemma on our hands, and we tried to contact the original adventuring group that helped liberate Torch many years ago, roughly about 8 years ago. Unfortunately, they were all unreachable. Makes sense. They're all pretty powerful adventurers. They probably wouldn't need to deal with the day-to-day life that happens in Torch. So we have called upon you all to help give advice on the situation. Mayanda, also no last name, was a follower of a iron god named Helion, who was defeated roughly 8 years ago. She was also rumored to have been defeated 8 years ago by the same group of adventurers. However, she has committed several crimes of kidnapping, murder, and withholding technology and information from the council. She is also responsible for my kidnapping several years ago. We have called upon each of you to give your advice to the council in regards to this matter. You look over and you see the cloaked figure remove their hood with their chains. It is an android with a light pink base with this wild pink hair. This like the left side of her head has no hair, but it all leads out into a really long and flowy purple and pink. She has all this pink circuitry running up and down her arms. This is definitely an android. She looks at the council and goes, "Oh, please, do we really need to have this conversation? I've already told you I mean no harm." And Konar looks at her and goes, "That is for the council to decide. Now, which one of you would like to speak first?" I have also put into chat just for our group what Mayanda formally would look like. Obviously, in this case, she's a little bit more disheveled than her battle art that we have in the first Iron Gods AP. Any volunteers?
Oh, sure.
Yes, Tiffany.
Um, so I guess, why are we here for this?
See, you are all experienced in various different fields. You are experienced in the ideology of life itself. Mayanda is an interesting figure, for they are an android. While technically having a vessel and a soul, we are not quite sure how to handle this situation because she claims it was the last person who was in her body that committed those acts. And yet before us is the same person who says they have recovered their old memories. However, was never properly given a trial for their acts that they have committed against the town 8 years ago. So you being somebody who's experienced in life, in specifically divine magics, we would appreciate your input on the situation.
Oh, well, I guess what I would say is that if she's not the same person and if it's just a shell, you can't properly punish someone that hasn't done it.
I see. What about you, Heka? You are a follower of Sarenrae.
Well, I would have to agree with Tiffany. You would just be punishing an innocent soul in a shell that has committed the act. If there is a way to prove that it is a new soul, because it is one's word against the other. There are ways to prove loyalty and rehabilitation, whether it's the old soul or a new. Rehabilitation is a thing, and it's what we like to practice.
You see, he looks at as you say that, looks at the fellow townsman and looks at them and goes, in my studies of the android life cycle, typically when an android dies, their body begins a new process, completely changing their features, their looks, even down to their personality as a new soul enters the vessel. However, given the situation and my own personal wish of seeing justice for said action, this is a curious case indeed of an android who has not changed appearance or does not seem to have changed in personality since we last met. They keep rambling on about something being underneath the city, but every time I have done a further excavation of the ship that is underneath our city, I have not found anything of note outside of the usual relics of creatures and of monsters that have been down there. And you kind of, if anybody's looking at Mayonda, as he says that, she kind of gets like this twitch in her eye of just like, is clearly annoyed by the idea.
I can't say I'm a expert in androids or know much about them. But it sounds like they've come with information that could easily be turned into a quest of loyalty to prove if it is someone who means no harm or someone completely different. You could always just send a troop with down to wherever it is that they're looking for and see what you can find.
Perhaps another opinion would be valued in this. Jarek, you are a blacksmith and have served our town loyally for a while now. What is your opinion on the matter?
I haven't done a lot of any work directly with androids. Mostly, it's been my experience with them involves running from them. May I? Would it be all right if I take a look? If I examine? May I examine?
By all means.
Yeah. He's going to sort of step forward, and he's going to be taking a. He's going to take a look at Mayanda, just to see. Sort of looking at the very if there are any visible mechanisms or anything like that.
Go ahead and give
yeah.
me either a perception or medicine check. So if you open up your sheet, Perception's on the left. You can also go into the tab that has like the open hand and give me a medicine check.
Let me see. Also, I have, just as a thing, I have both. I have a crafter's appraisal, which will help if there's like magic going on.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately, it's
only
not that kind of situation, as this is more of a living
Gotcha.
being.
Alrighty. I shall open my sheet and let's see. Perception. Yeah, is the because I don't have medicine. I don't think. Well, I can try anything, but let's see.
Listen, the worst is a
I'll
nat
go ahead.
1, and we go from there. Nat 1,
I
you
just
kill
pressed-
Mayonda immediately by hitting the wrong
Excellent.
button. Game over. We
Excellent.
all walk away. Short
Well,
adventure.
Let's see. There's a button here that says roll. I'll try pressing that.
Okay.
And you get a +1.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, for her
Then
27.
that would be an 18 then. Oh, all right.
According to this, it's you got a 26 on your roll because you rolled a 17.
Oh, okay.
The DC,
okay. Gotcha.
The DC was 18, so you didn't critically succeed. But taking a look at Mayada, judging off of her appearance and what you know of androids, this is somebody who has been through the rough. This person looks like they've traveled quite a bit. Given their disheveled look, they have clearly needed to fend for themselves from something, are not in pain, but are clearly uncomfortable by the idea of being here, being a prisoner. They don't have like a look of not regret for their actions, but more of a disdain of a council putting them through an endeavor.
And as I'm when I approach, I will actually just sort of as I'm starting to look over, I'm just going to I will briefly say to Amanda, "May I?" As I'm just sort of looking over a few things.
Through her teeth, she goes, "Fine, which you must."
And as I'm doing it, I'll ask, "This is there a mechanism by which you'll change from one person to another?"
I die.
Is that's the only case in which it happens? Yeah.
Yes, a protocol system in my nanites activates body regeneration, creating a new vessel for a soul to enter. I don't feel like dying anytime soon to test the process.
Yeah, but you are someone else when you say you're someone else when these things happen. Yeah.
I came across a record of my past life a while ago, and that is why I bear the name Mayanda. Have a very similar resemblance to my past life.
And that is not normally the case where you look similar.
It is up to the individual of how an appearance may form. I have decided
so you
to
decide
adopt,
when.
Yes, I have decided to adopt this appearance, for it is one that I feel most comfortable in.
So you remembered that bit from your earlier life. Then this appearance
I
comforts you.
found a drawing of myself that I must have sketched. There was also a recording that I found of, I guess, a last will and testament to myself that I found immediately upon my reawakening.
Does she seem to be telling the truth as far as I can tell?
I'm going to say with a 27, yeah, she seems to be telling enough of the truth where there's nothing that seems like a big lie or anything like that. It doesn't, her story has seemed consistent. You know, a lot of times when people are lying, they fill in too many details. This seems like normal amount of like truth telling.
All right. So I'll turn and I'll say, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. This is a different individual. It's just same body. But I say, turning to the council members, and it's like they have this thing they do sometimes. Some of them when they are trying to when they're trying to obfuscate the truth, that something happens sometimes with the circuits. They're not doing that. They're not giving any tells of anything like that. So it's absolutely, I would say this is probably what happened, unless there's some, unless this is this new personality is that of an actor. But from the look of things, I would say that the income would be about right for that, but not. No. This one has seen too much to be, since their last change, to be to have devoted enough time to that kind of skill, I think.
Well, perhaps one more opinion is needed before we make any strong decision. Rowan,
Huh? Yeah.
you're the one who the Church of Desna has sent. Am I correct?
I would like to plead not guilty on the fact that I have no idea what crime I actually committed for this.
We have committed no crime. We have sought your guidance.
I think you need one of the clerics if you need the guidance spell. That's not something I have.
That is not your advice as a member of Desna's following. What would Desna and her
What would Desna do?
followers, recommend in this situation? Given that your history of faith would lead me to presume that your faith talks about freedom, artistic beauty, and many other facets that I personally don't follow or care. But your advice would still be greatly valued.
I mean, what evidence do you have against her that she has committed any crime since the last time you saw her?
Well, the last time we did see her was 8 years ago. Once again, I was kidnapped by her in the dead of night and was forced to undergo several experiments regarding nanites and the interactions with human. I was also potentially being a sacrifice, in my opinion, to the false god Helion, who formerly resided in the scrapped wall until a group of adventurers, I was told, defeated. About 8 years ago, I recognized that there was a relay point between the structure that is underneath the town of Torch to the scrap wall, which I had given the advice to the group of individuals about, which led them to investigate the scrap wall further beyond Mayanda's connections to Helion. It is apparently
Okay.
there when they met the Lords of Rust and had defeated them too.
I mean, that sounds rough, buddy. But what has she done in like the last few years?
This is the first time she's appeared since 8 years ago. We believe that she had escaped the adventurers by faking her death in order to escape punishment for her actions against the town.
Okay, it doesn't sound like she's actually committed any crimes, and people can change.
It was
People
more of the
always
fact that she
need.
escaped punishment the first time.
Okay, but it doesn't sound like she's the same person anymore. And I think like everyone deserves a chance to redeem themselves. And in 8 years, if she hasn't done anything bad, I think she's at least on that journey. And even though you don't respect Desna or anything that she believes in, blah blah blah, journeys are important. And just because She hasn't finished the path to redemption. Doesn't mean that she's not well on her way.
I see. Well, given the testimony that we've heard today, I would like to submit the following request to council. I would like Mayanda to speak for just a brief moment on what is her fascination with below the town of Torch. You see Mayanda still in that cloaked and bound form stands up and he goes, I believe that something of considerable importance happens to reside underneath the town of Torch. However, I do not have the correct recollection of what is down there for me to be certain. However, when I tried to get below, I was apprehended by a city guard who accused me of trespassing, which I found myself today. I mean the council no threat or harm. I merely seek to find the answers to questions I have. And it is at that point Kohanar finishes writing something down and goes, the last time you were down there, or even your previous life was down there, you had managed to create quite a stir for the town of Torch, resulting in several civilians getting hurt. You will be escorted. Congrats, adventurers, or whatever you want to call yourselves. You have just now been scripted into escorting Mayanda into Black Hill. You will each be paid, what's about fair, 15 gold pieces for your time. If you do find any technology that I may have missed over the last 8 years of exhibition work, you are mandated to bring it to the council or to myself, where you can meet me in my forgery to back tear. Thank you for the view. The raid. You will give me the pieces of technology. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for 15 gold, I'll understand anything you like.
I see.
It sounds like not too long a job, and it's yeah. I have experience scavenging for things. It should be fine.
Perfect. Well, with that, the meeting is adjourned. We will get you contracts immediately. Go ahead and meet Val in the lobby, and we will get that all set up for you. He slams down his gavel, and the council adjourns, leaving just you four and Mayanda, who is eventually let go of her chains, but is provided no equipment in terms of weapons, any armor, etc. Pretty much unarmored, no access to anything useful. She just stares at the four of you. Goes, I do not need a babysitter. If you all want to just take the 15 gold and leave, I implore you to do so.
I feel like if that happens, I'm actually going to get called back into court, like as an actual punishment. Does these people feel like they're the law, or at least like responsible for the law, and they decide to do something? Which I mean, I don't really care about, but I don't particularly want to go to jail either. Are you all right? It looks like those handcuffs look like they were really tight and uncomfortable.
I'm more annoyed by the fact that I even need to deal with this.
I mean, you could probably just walk away too.
I don't want to walk away. I need to find out what is down there. I think you understand what has changed in the last 8 years for me. The Iron Gods have fallen. A new deity has risen, named Cassandra, who believes they speak for us all androids. When I knew her, she was nothing but a weak oracle.
Well, unfortunately, it seems like the only way you're going to get down there is to deal with the. Sometimes you have to make compromises.
I must. Doesn't seem like I have much of a choice at this point.
Besides, it'll be fun. We'll get to sing travel songs and have sleepovers and have nice story times.
I mean, that is always the best part of traveling with people.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you don't really look like you could handle if there's stuff down there. So I don't mind helping, especially if they're just going to be mean to you up here.
Uh, they're sending us down there because they want us to bring something back. It doesn't really. I don't think it really even has all that much to do with you, honestly. But they want us to go down. It's an excuse. That's why they're paying that much. But if you like, I can take a look at some of this that where you got beaten up a bit, and I can try to see if I can do something to help out before
And
we
I
go
don't know
down.
how much I can do, but I am good at making people feel better. So
Not sure if that's a euphemism or not. Genuinely confused.
I'm confused all the time. It's okay.
I'm at a loss of words. For the first time in my life, I'm at a complete loss of words here.
Don't worry, that happens a lot, I find.
Oh god, I have been cursed with the most idiotic group. Alright, let's get going.
Honestly, I also lean in and say, honestly, I have seen worse.
There's worse? By the gods.
Yeah.
Okay, you are each given your contract. I'm going to assume you sign. Basically promising you 15 gold at the end of the expedition. All the stuff about having to return any found technology from the wreckage of the ship. You are then escorted to the top of Black Hill, where you are each hit with a single rod of breathe water. Congrats. The first thing we're all doing is making athletics checks, as you all have to start swimming.
Okay.
Yay!
So go ahead and everybody give me an athletics check to see how well you manage to make it through to the Black Hill Caves. Goddamn, Rowan is like doing great out here with a natural 20. Tiffany is struggling.
Am I allowed
with
to
an
help
11.
Tiffany?
You know what? With a nat 20, I will allow part of that assistance to go to Tiffany. Tiffany, you can go ahead and roll and take the roll again and take the higher result instead of just a normal aid.
Before they go down, Rose just like, okay, we should all hold hands.
Fucking natural 20 from Tiffany, nat 1 from Hecka, nat 1 from Jorik. What the fuck is happening?
There's only two sides to a spectrum.
So here's what happens. As you are each hit with water breathing, a basic spell, so you don't drown immediately upon hitting the bottom of Black Hill. Two of you, Rowan, you see Tiffany is struggling and manage to, with one arm like around their waist, using your other arm to like pull them essentially to shore. You see that Heka and Jorik probably has never swam before in their life. And both sink fast to the bottom and are not quite sure how to swim back up to get to the shore of
I'll go after them. It's
okay.
obvious that they probably didn't grow up anywhere near like a pond or anything. They probably grew up in the desert where who knows what happens here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say with
They
the
weren't
nat
listening.
1, they are both struggling. It's like seeing a cat in water, where it's like a dog in water, where they're just like doggy paddling, trying to just like they're treading water,
And
but
just
their
going in
armor,
circles.
yeah, exactly. Their armor and their equipment are too heavy, so like they're making about an inch or two up before slowly sinking back down. Go ahead and give me another athletics check. This is gonna be a little harder of a DC given both of them rolled nat 1s. Statistically unlikely. With that, Rowan, 14. Alright, Jorg manages to, I will say, after a little bit, I'm gonna say this puts a delay in your guys' time. You,
Oh, never mind. I can't do
sorry, go
that
ahead.
now.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna know. So I was gonna say I have to do it before I roll because I have the athletic assurances. So I would have rolled a 19.
Oh, okay,
I
then
think
yeah,
for that.
don't,
Yeah.
I'll allow it. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, cool. Mayanda swims without any issue. Well, I didn't know you had a shirts athletics. Okay, that changes everything.
Yeah.
With the shirts athletics, you managed to grab onto both of them, swim awkwardly, like trying to gesture them of like, nope, move your arm like this so we're not like, taking longer than we need to. Both of them don't really do it very well. Jorik does a little bit better than Heka, but it's both really awkward. It's like baby's first swim lesson kind of thing where it's just like smacking water as you're both making it to the shores of Black Hill Caves. So typically this is where we would do a full expedition of this particular area. However, this has all been cleared out by a group of adventurers that came long well before you. I am gonna, however, just to determine how well you guys do, I'm gonna need somebody to go ahead and roll a d20 for me. We're gonna make a flat check.
I'm gonna not, because I just rolled a nat 1.
That means you
Not it.
shouldn't roll in that one again, though.
Statistically means you can't roll
You
another nat
haven't seen
1.
my
It's not
Pathfinder rolls.
possible. That's true, I have. That's honestly fair. Okay, somebody go ahead and roll me a d20. This is gonna determine what you encounter along the way. If not, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna lie about the result. That one.
Oh no.
Go ahead and roll a d4 real quick.
What did I tell you?
1,
It's the
2,
Foundry
3, 4.
curse again.
Tiffany, go ahead and give me a fortitude saving throw for me.
Okay.
You all, as that happens, manage to run into a pack of blind teams that have made their living here.
Oh no.
11. You see a part of Tiffany is starting to get turned into stone as one of you guys fully tackle them to the ground to get them to look away from the blind teams. You're all like getting blinded by like blaring lights. It's like a full-on EDM rave from fucking creatures that have light abilities. You're getting
wow.
dazzled left and right. Blind teams have a spotlight action, which is just creating these like giant bursts of 30-foot emanations of just blinding, dazzling lights. If somebody wants it, go ahead and give me a survival check to see if how well you guys manage to fend them off. If you do fend them off, not just straight up starting to run away from literally a low-level creature.
Let me see.
I've only
I
got a
have
+1
survived.
and I'm untrained, so
I have a
I got
+7.
nothing.
Another nat 1! That's 3
Three
nat
in a
1s!
row. 3 in a row.
Somebody
James,
else
I feel
make
like
this
you
check.
said
Get
this.
them out of the way now. Just get them out of the way now. Then they're gone. It's okay.
Okay, Jorik manages to, like, Heka is so blinded, like, you might have to actually go see another cleric about you're getting, like, you might have permanent eye damage by the time this adventure is done from the amount of just, like, blinding lights that get you hit with at once. It is genuinely insane. God, 3 fucking nat ones. Okay.
You said it couldn't be done.
I didn't think it would be possible. That is on me for underestimating the dice. A mistake I won't make again. However, you do manage to make it to, like, a little further in when you see Mayanda walks up to a cave wall. It just puts her hand on it, but not gripping the wall. Just, like, hand over it. She goes, "There's something funny about this wall.
Yeah.
Not natural."
Yeah. Well, let's see. Hang on. I will step forward and examine the wall. I have a thing called Trap Sense, I think, if that helps here.
This is gonna help.
Trap Finder, that's what it's called.
Trap Finder, the next Pathfinder hack I write. Okay, so you have a +1 circumstance bonus to find traps to AC. I'm gonna say because you have this feat, I'm not even gonna need you to roll for it. You look at this wall and tell it's fake because as you put your hand on the wall, your hand goes through. You're like, yeah, like, it's an illusion.
Man. And so I can also, oddly enough, I can cast detect magic at will because I took that ability. I don't I can't actually do magic, but I can see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on real quick and just check.
You kind of get a cursory glance. This is not magical.
Yeah.
This is not any illusion effect. There's nothing that would give off any tradition of magic. This looks like something else possible.
Oh, that's interesting. This wall is he's trying to think of the word in common.
Fake wall.
Phantasmal. It's it's not real. It's but it's not magic. But look, and I just sort of put my hand in the wall and like move it up and down.
Just see.
Are we going that way?
Mayada shrugs and goes, "Makes the most sense to me to go that way."
Okay, and then Rowan walks through.
You walk through and make it about 5 feet in before hitting an actual door.
Hey guys, there's actually a door over here.
So this door is made out of complete steel. I'm gonna say, Jorik, with your knowledge of blacksmithing and given your knowledge of engineering, you look over and you see what appears to be the remains of a robot in the like some sort of construct in the corner. And on the wall itself is this little black box that's built into the wall.
Hang on. Yeah, we have this, and we have this. And you see him sort of turning and just he's mumbling to himself as he's looking at the door and the black box on the wall, and he's looking at the robot for a second, and he's like, is the robot like in a position where it might have been standing by the box when it fell?
It was more
something like that.
Give me an engineering check.
I will give you an engineering check.
By the way, for everybody who doesn't know, during session 0, I stressed that somebody should have engineering lore, just in case. Finally seeing engineering lore make it to the forefront of a game. 17 with engineering lore, you start looking around the destroyed robot. First off, it's rusted. And I mean, like, metal that has been left out for a long, long time.
Hmm.
It also looks like it has several puncture points in its metallic chassis, meaning somebody took a knife or some sort of piercing weapon and stabbed it a bunch. However, in searching of the wreckage, you find a little green card about this big, about, a hand-sized, like a credit card, be a little bit more accurate in size. That is tucked deep within the wreckage of this creature.
Ah. And so you just sort of look at it for a second, and I will sort of raising, and I will sort of turn back. And no one's seen one of these before. And,
It's a card?
hmm.
I got
It's
like a
part
whole
of this.
deck of cards.
Well, it's part of the mechanism from. It's part of the mechanism from this. Automated creature. But and actually, I'm gonna ask because again, this is a thing. I'll ask Leanda sort of this. You know about these?
I genuinely don't know.
All right. All right. We'll figure it out later. And
How close were you, say, as you're like waving it around, are you to the wall? A dangerous question from
I'm
a
standing
GM to
by.
ask. I know, but
I know,
good
right?
one.
I'm probably standing. So my distance from the panel is probably the other side of the robot.
Okay.
So that's and so I'd be standing about that close.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll a d20 in private. Get it determine something.
Sure.
Okay. As you're waving it about, you pass the black box and you hear a beep, and all of a sudden the door begins opening.
Oh, cool. You figured it out.
Yeah. Oh. It has a thing. It's not magic. That's the thing. It's not magic. But it tells it. Yeah.
You hear anybody who doesn't speak in Dorfin, Doric would, because this is a little bit more of a native language for Numeria. For those who speak in Dorfin, you hear the word access granted coming from the panel.
Thanks. I say back to it for no reason.
Mayanda gives you this confusing look of, did you just tell the wall, thank you?
It did
Sometimes
open.
it's important to think
Well, it
things.
said it was granting us access.
Of course it's
I know.
It's only polite.
okay. You know what?
Are you going to say it's a machine and I should not treat it with respect?
I mean, you should.
Are you
treat
going to say
machines-
that?
I mean, I guess it's a question more of like how sentient a thing is. I believe that's just a box that tells you whether or not access was granted or not.
How do
I
you
mean,
know?
people didn't think the chickens on the farm were sapient, but I'd still thank them for providing dinner and breakfast.
There's a difference between. Okay, you know what? I guess it's more of a question of sapience versus sentience and whether or not one can think for itself. If I had to guess, that thing is probably programmed to say whether or not access was granted, given the circumstance. You know what? Why am I even talking?
I don't know.
about
There are people walking around who can't think for themselves. I don't know.
I just,
My dad said it's only polite to think everything.
I mean, I would be thanking it for working.
you know what? That's a good point. I'm surprised this thing still works.
And
Rowan's
I
gonna pat
think
the
anyone
box
who
and just go, "Good job," and walk through the door.
Yeah, and I think anyone who's paying attention will from the moment that I thanked the machine will probably be able to, who's paying too much attention will probably be able to tell that I'm just winding Manda up a bit. I'm not actually I'm not entirely serious.
You are greeted by a silver hallway. There is little to no light, so it would either need to cast the light cantrip or create a light of some sort if they have a torch.
You got a crystal.
Perfect. Going full Gandalf right now. Pulling out a crystal and turning it into a light. Oh my god, my eye, what the fuck? You are greeted by a silver hallway. So this hallway is made completely out of metal. You see that there is rubble everywhere, meaning some scourge or fight happened. As you continue on, I'm gonna go ahead and bring us and the stream over to our next scene to show you a little bit better of what we're looking at. Okay. What the frell? You stream, you should be seeing stuff. Why are you lying to me? I swear to God, everything works up until the point it doesn't, and
Oh wow.
then this gets really annoying at times.
Did you cast the light cantrip for stream?
One would think I did. It's fine, I can overrule this. Well, there we go. All right. One of the first rooms you actually run into is a destroyed and disheveled room. This is not fully accurate to the Iron Gods AP. Forgive me for not wanting to go through and re-import all the maps from the first adventure. So this is gonna be a little different than what you're used to. But you are greeted by a room that has a table in the center of it that is currently that has a faint glow to it, and you see currently there are several destroyed metal creatures inside that are currently looking deactivated or like not functioning. What would you like to do?
So what is it we're supposed to be doing here, May?
I guess exploring the place. None of this really looks familiar. If anybody wants, they can go ahead and give me a religion check, actually.
100%.
I can do religion.
Are we ready for Nat 1 number 4?
One wouldn't think it's possible. It wasn't. 21, 18, natural 20 from Tiffany. Well, Tiffany, because you got the natural 20, I'm going to go ahead and let you know first. This has a lot of holy depictions to a god named Xiphus. You know a lot about Xiphus only because it's the exact opposite of you. It is a god of accidental death, which would make sense to be prevalent in Numeria, a region where a bunch of barbarians centuries ago would accidentally blow themselves up due to fucking with shit they weren't supposed to touch.
I was
Story
about
of
to
my
fuck around
life.
and find out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Becomes a major figure later in the campaign, but you do actually find several scriptures relating to Xiphus written on the walls here.
I'll share and just say, "Oh, it's Cyphus," like you accidentally die, things like that. Like, like I'm really good at the life stuff, but you gotta respect death too. It's all part of it.
Yeah, a lot of the other champions of Desna that I've met, we all kind of figure this is the god we're going to deal with in death.
Mayanda looks confused genuinely at you and goes, "No, whoever's telling you that is purely wrong."
I mean, he's the god of accidental death. We're not planning to go out like normally,
Well,
to be very fair.
I mean,
Luck
I
is
don't.
both sides of the good and bad luck, and we experience plenty of each.
I feel like I should be correcting you, but I don't have the energy to begin. The goddess of death, for the record, is the judge of death specifically is Pharasma. She is the one who judges all souls. In the graveyard, in the boneyard. That being said, goddesses of death. Okay, you know what? Let's just begin looking around and see if there's anything important. I'm not even starting with that. And she begins to walk around, start moving through some of the rubble. If anybody wants, they can go ahead and give me an engineering check to kind of see what's around here. Give me another religion check to see if you can dive a little deeper into the text of Xiphus, or something else if you feel like it's more appropriate for your character.
Yeah.
14. Okay. Anybody else want to make any checks? Nine. So for 15 in religion, between the two of you, I'm gonna go ahead and move you guys around the map if you don't mind. If you're gonna be moving, around a little bit. Yeah, put you guys right about there. Jorik, you find a little handheld metal spherical ball with a single red, almost looks like an eye in the center of it.
The really quick thing, is it magic?
Not magical.
All right. Sort of looking at what the hell does this? Muttering to self, looking at sphere, trying to determine what it does.
As you do so, you find a little button on the underside of it.
Yeah.
I guess the important question I have to ask, purely because I have to ask it, do you press the button?
I am not that kind of rogue. Just because I have the shiny crystal doesn't mean I grab everything that's shiny. I will say, I will instead, I will turn and oh no.
If you want
Um,
Rowan to
oh,
press
yes.
the button, he'll
I
press the
said-
button.
Well, yeah, I will instead just sort of look and see who happens to be nearby.
Yeah, Rowan's close enough. If you
And
want to,
Rowan's closer. Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, hey, I found something. You want to see?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Don't know what it is. Might want to be careful. Maybe, I don't know. And he'll sort of toss it to you.
It's heavy. It weighs about 4 or 5 pounds easily. Yeah, you see there's golden spherical ball, little red eye or dot in the center, and then a button on the bottom.
He said it's not magic.
Not magic.
It's not magic. It still probably does something. There's a thing you press and it does something, but I don't know if it.
So you just want me to test the button? Okay.
Well, if you want, but I say it might blow up, possibly, if you're okay with that. But it might also have something inside we might want.
I'm taking a step away from the
Yes.
button pusher.
We're
I
learning
will press the
already.
button.
As you press the button,
Mhm.
it animates to life, and all of a sudden, like 4 to 6 legs sprout out from the sides. It gets like 2 little like golden wings
know.
behind it. It grows like an extra eye beneath it, and it immediately sends a signal to a few other destroyed robots, which start animating to life. I'm gonna need everybody here to roll some initiative. So the way that initiative works in Pathfinder is that there's no actual initiative stat, so to say, but you can use a skill or a sense appropriate. So I'm gonna actually say, Jorik, if you want, you can go ahead and use engineering lore if you wanted as your initiative modifier. Everybody else can roll perception. Not Rowan. Heka, you can use religion if you want. Is I'm gonna go ahead and roll on my guys. Rolled better than I thought they were. God damn. I might actually get to do something in a combat. This is weird.
I mean, am I allowed to roll athletics?
I wouldn't say for just pressing a button, no.
Yeah.
Nat
Nope.
1. This might become a new record on a stream for most Nat 1s by players. This is gonna be really great. Okay. So wait, hold on. Jork got the Nat 1. Oh boy. What did Rowan get, Alice? If Alice is still with us.
Alice is missing.
Of course they're missing. Alright,
I
that's
never
it.
played that game.
Alright, pull out your phones.
heard
We're
about
doing it now. Alright, let's get the music going. Mid-change of stream. Welcome to Alice's Bissing for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It's a new supplement that we are working on. Basically, you're gonna use your phone for all 3 of your actions. It's all gonna be perception checks, nothing else. Defined, Alice. What did Rowan get on their initiative?
I don't know. Foundry is now reloading for me.
I'll roll it. What's the worst that'll happen? 14. Actually, you got a 19 on your initiative. Okay, well, let's begin our encounter. Well, the animated statue is up first, and we got a target directly in between him and his ally, which is
Oh, no.
perfect for a construct like them. Because, you know, they shun fancy things like electricity. And it's gonna punch you in the face. So Rowan, that is a 23 to hit you, which hits. So we're gonna deal some damage to you. So that's 11 points of damage. You do not have your shield raised, so you could not like shield block or something like that. However, they are gonna use.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to get my character sheet back up, and I think I have something.
You have something against being hit. Your champion reaction doesn't work here because I'm not attacking an ally. I know champions. You have 3 reactions: Glimpse of Redemption, Orc Ferocity, and Shield Block. Well, as you look that up, I'm going to go ahead and do its next action, which is grabbing you as part of its attack. So it's going to grapple you for a +9. Come on, roll well. I failed. I guess we're not hitting you very well. And then we're going to make another fist attack. Just barely hits for an additional 11 points of damage. I'm going to go ahead and merge the 2 damages together for you. So it's nice and simple. 22 points of bludgeoning damage, and that's going to end its turn. So this robot stands up, fucking decks you right in the face, goes to try to grapple you and to grab onto you, but you manage to slip out. And as you like duck underneath, it's already ready with another attack, and it just clocks you right in the face. That's gonna end that turn. It's gonna bring us to the little clockwork spy, the little spherical body. It has a very straightforward action round. It sees Jarek and is like, I'm gonna enters your space, Jarek, and is gonna make an attack against you because it's tiny. So it just throws its whole body right at you. That is going to be a 19, which misses. Is then gonna do another attack that's a critical miss. It's got one more action left, and it's a very straightforward creature. It's also gonna miss. So this thing, like, forgive the reference here, like, full-on golden snitch from Harry Potter is just fucking, this golden ball just flies immediately at you. You're just having to duck out of the way as it's, like, whirling past you. That's gonna bring us to Tiffany.
You are next.
Okay. Do I want to use that yet? Okay. I think we're just gonna do a nice simple, just try to damage something. Is anyone super, super hurt yet?
I mean, I'm down 50% of my health.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can help with that. All right. I'd like to use heal on
On Rowan.
Rowan.
Okay, go ahead and click cast. How many actions are you using to cast heal? So one action's touch, 2 actions is a range of 30 feet, and you heal more, or 30 feet heals everybody.
I'll use 2 actions just for the range.
Love it. All right, go ahead and click cast for me.
Did it go through?
Okay, so that's 2 versus living. So in chat, just click roll healing for me. And that's how many Rowan will recover.
Okay.
So you get
13.
13 hit points back.
Yay.
And
Thank
you have
you.
1 action left.
Oh, geez. Okay, and then so I could do a damaging spell as well?
So that was 2
Or
actions. So you have 1 action, so you could, if you wanted
Oh,
to,
I see what the little markers are.
mhm,
Okay, I get it now.
you can cast like guidance. If you wanted to, we could have said that you cast Healer's Blessing right before you did that. You could cast Lifelink, which will which will increase your curse level by 1. But will give you a nice benefit. And so on. Completely up to you, but you have 1 action left.
You said that I could like raise my shield.
You can raise your shield.
I would like to do that.
All right, you go ahead and raise your shield. I'll give you the little thing that says you have raised your shield. Come on.
Okay.
Hold on. Got it. Now I gotta say that you're wearing it. Hold on, give me 1 second. It's being mean. Worn in one hand, held in one hand. There you go. You are now raising your shield. So you now have a +2 circumstance bonus to your armor class, making it a little harder for me to deck you.
It's your turn.
All right,
That is
animated
my turn.
armor. But we're gonna be stupid and move out of the flank in order to use 1 action to approach Heka. We're gonna go ahead and make ooh, actually I can do it from 1 step back actually, because it has a reach with its glaive. Oh no, I'm kidding. It's gonna go all the way. First attack with a +11, it hits you for a 26. That is going to deal 11 points of slashing damage as the glaive slices down on you. It's gonna make a gauntlet attack.
I would also like to use my reaction.
What would your reaction be?
Blood Vendetta.
Okay. Go ahead and click cast for me. You instantly run into an issue. It has no blood.
Hey, at least we learned something.
Oh, wait, it damaged Hecka, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it within
Then
50?
Rowan's just gonna.
I
it
can
is-
bleed. The requirement says you can bleed. I can bleed.
Unfortunately, your ally is within 20 feet, not 15 feet. So Glimpse of Redemption, unfortunately, is not triggerable. This is why we measure things out as a GM to fuck over our players. No, I'm kidding. Just where people happen
Just
to
wait,
be.
James.
I'm kidding. It's just where people happen to be. This was a thing I planned. They're gonna follow up with a gauntlet attack. Miss. Come on, you're supposed to be agile. And miss again. It as it like carves into you, it just like follows with 2 more fist strikes, and it manages to miss both of them. That brings us to Rowan, who just got their face caved in by accident and then immediately healed.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to drive me crazy because it won't let me target my token to take the damage. And I'm
Alright.
targeting my token.
There you go. You've taken
Thank you.
11.
I mean, first I'm gonna target this guy and just kind of put as much damage as I can into him with my sword.
Love that. Go right ahead. Unfortunately, that's gonna miss.
That's rude. And that's only one action, right?
That was only one action.
In which case, Rowan, with like a free hand, is going to like rifle through his like pockets and then pull out a deck of cards. Rifle through the deck of cards, and then he pulls out one that's got like a lightning strike on it. And I'm gonna use my cantrip deck to go ahead and use electric arc.
Okay. Does it have a DC? A DC of 15. So typically this is one too many actions, but I'm gonna say rule of cool on this. I'll allow it. So he's going to make a reflex saving throw. Him and his ally. Which ally would you like to also target with this? Because it gets a natural
This
20.
one,
The armor or the little spy?
the armor.
Okay, the armor is also going to make a DC 15. Ooh, this one might be actually harder. It succeeds. Sorry, no, it fails. So go ahead and roll 2d4. That's how much electric damage it takes from electric arc. I think that's also going to bypass some armor. Takes one. Ooh. How do I put this? It doesn't take any damage. It looks like this thing it has a hardness to it that manages to negate some of the actual damage it has. So as you pull out the card and like the card shoots out an arc of lightning, the robot in front of you just full on like pushes your hands away, causing the spell to go wide and miss both your targets. That's gonna be all 3 of your action.
You're a little bit of a dick, you know that?
Me? I didn't. I just.
I mean, I say it
doing
mostly
some-
to the
Oh.
character in front of me, but it can apply to you too, James.
I assume at this point. All right, that's on me. I assume most players are just immediately calling me a dick. That brings us to Hecka.
I'm going to use 2 actions to use ignition on the guy in front of me.
With or without a
Have-
remix?
Why not both?
Great answer. Are you using the melee version or the ranged version?
Melee, because I'm going after.
Love it. All right, go ahead and make your attack. Such a bad joke, but I will keep making it every time somebody casts that spell.
Why did it not roll the thing? There's the
That is an 18. That hits. Go ahead and roll damage against them. Not a critical hit. Okay, so that's 8 points. Ooh, 8 points of fire damage. It looks like it takes no damage from that, as it absorbs
this
the
is
heat.
gonna be fun. And then I'm gonna use my my last action to heal myself.
Okay. That brings us to
Make ready.
Jorik.
Your turn comes.
Okay. So one of those deals where just kind of like sees this thing on it, it's like ah, and he's going to turn. He's going to pull his. He's going to pull his sword and try to stab the thing.
I love it. All right, go ahead and give me an attack.
Okay. So drawing sword. That's not the thing I was trying to draw. Trying to
All of
draw
a sudden,
that.
a hand
There we go.
crossbow appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what the hell? Put
Okay.
that away. There we go. All right. So let's see. Now let's see how do I do this?
So
Strike.
so strike plus 10. Because
Gotcha.
it's your first attack with this weapon. 19. Is 19 gonna hit? That just hits.
Ah, excellent.
Go
I
ahead
click
and roll some damage.
righto.
It is not off guard, so you do not get sneak attack.
All right.
So in the chat, it just says roll damage. Oh, perfect. You just did it.
Got it.
All right. 8 points
me a
of
sec.
damage. This thing does not have a hardness, so you just cut off like 3 of its legs in one slash. You have another 2 actions remaining. So if you want, you can follow up with, like, do you want to fate against it, potentially make it off guard? You can attack again. So where it says map -4, where it says +6 and +2, you can make 2 attacks. Kind of got like a plethora of options.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go ahead since this thing is still up. And I think right now I'm just still in like mild panic mode. I'm just going to be swinging at this thing, trying to, just trying to get it. So I'm going to try to hit it again.
So
it's
do
map
it at -4 because
plus
you're
6.
wielding.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're wielding an agile weapon.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's not very good.
unfortunately, a 2 is not going to be able to do it. You have one more
No.
attack. You have one more action.
Okay. So having done that, I'm going to.
Can I remind you of one
Yeah,
thing?
that's the thing. I can. Yes.
Attacks of opportunity is not a common reaction that creatures have. So reactive attacks aren't a thing. So if you wanted to like move to get out of the way, it wouldn't trigger anything unless a creature specifically had that ability.
Can I take a 5-foot step as I activate a tattoo? Is that a thing that people do in this system, or is that not a thing?
I don't think you can do both. So I think it's either going to be
Okay.
shield or to move.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. I mean, if this place isn't very big, it's gonna be able to get to me no matter where I am in the freaking room.
That's fair.
So I don't think moving is going to be my priority here. So what I'm going to do is, as I'm sort of trying to get to sort of a little bit of space between me and it, I will I'll just basically hold up my flash up my hand for just a second. I just twist it, and the shield tattoo activates, and this shield appears. Essentially, this magical shield transparently appears between me and it.
I love that.
And,
All right. That is going to end your turn with the shield being cast. Beginning my turn with I'm going to start punching your friend. Come here, Ron. So that's a 22 to hit. So that hits. You're gonna go ahead and take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as it hits you. It is then going to repeat its grapple ability. Shove, trip. Oh, come on. You tell me I didn't have grapple in my Rolodex? Alright, well, here's a grapple attempt. Failure by 1. Jesus fuck. Lower your con modifier.
No.
I'm gonna do it again. That hits. Okay. So once again, it goes for the same combo, hits you, tries to grab, it fails, so that it just hits you again for an additional 8 points of damage. That is gonna end its turn. Bring us to the Clockwork Spy. Clockwork Spy, you know what? We're gonna start our turn by trying to attack Doric. Hit by +0. So, Jorick.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
I have the. Does my feet kick in here
Nimble
for
dodge would kick in.
Nimble
if you want
dodge.
to say the attack misses due to you jumping out of the way, yeah, it crashes into the wall. As you jump out of the way. I love that. Is gonna make another attack. This one's gonna miss. An attack at a -1, so really shot in a dark here. Miss again. That is gonna end its turn, as it just can't do anything more than that. It's one attack that was successful, just didn't fucking go. Tiffany,
Your turn next.
your shield is
Alright.
lowered at the start of your turn, so
I'm gonna use first off. I'm gonna use Healer's Blessing
ooh, okay.
on Rowan because Rowan is getting hit. Um,
Can you cast that for me into chat just so I can see it? Perfect. Your words bless a creature with enhanced connection to vital energy. When it regains hit points from a healing effect, it regains 2 additional hit points. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw that effect onto Rowan. So now they have a little thing. Does this have... Ooh, this does increase your curse level by 1. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the effect of the curse of outpouring life. So here is your minor curse has now been activated.
all right. And then I'd like to use my remaining 2 actions to cast Heal again.
All right. We'll go ahead and put that into chat.
All right.
We're just becoming a font of healing.
Mhm. We appreciate that.
Okay. And then go ahead and roll. That's 10 addition, so 12 hit points recovered in your turn. Good job. Ooh, you're actually healed for 14 because Healer's Blessing is heightened at this level to grant additional HP. So 14 hit points. Every time you get hit, it just feels like a warm wave follows immediately after it. You're not sure whether it's just like the afterburn of pain or just the healing until you look over at Tiffany, who's like hands like cool down from overwhelming vitality. It's gonna end your turn.
It is your turn.
Bring us to the animated armor. It's so stupid. It's gonna actually make its first attack at Tiffany. It's got reach, and it hit all my friends nicely for a critical hit. That's a 29. Because it's
Alright.
10 over your armor class. So that's 23 points of damage in
Oof.
a hit. Then I'm gonna turn to Heka and hit you with a gauntlet. Oh my god, I've never rolled this well. What the fuck? That's a 22. That's gonna hit you for 6 points of damage. And then Hail Mary on a last attempt. That's gonna miss by 9. All right. Pretty straightforward round. You look over and see Tiffany just get hit with some nasty stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you just take that damage right there, so you don't have to worry about there you go. 23 points of damage. Ouch. All right. That's the animated armor's turn. Rowan.
Okay. Again, this jackass in front of me will not quit.
It's program. I'm sorry. It's only in its programming.
That's fine, but I'm still gonna go after it with
All
my
right,
sword.
go ahead. That's unfortunately gonna miss. As a reminder, we do have hero points if you want to reuse. Everybody starts off with 1. And there's a +1 just floating in chat, given by
If there's a
Sundance
+1
Kid.
floating in chat, I'm gonna take it.
All
'Cause I only
right,
missed by 1.
that hits.
That was already that +1 was already used.
It was already used. I am sorry.
Sorry.
You can re-roll if you want that hero point. Everybody starts with 1.
No, what Rowan would do instead is kind of just like pull back his sword, like hit himself on the chest. I've not tried this before, but he's gonna open up his mouth and I'm gonna use produce flame.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So that's produce flame. Go ahead and cast that real quick.
Yeah. It is not letting me target.
It's fine.
Not even
I'll do
letting
the rest. I don't know what's going on. Tech gremlins have been a night. All right. Go ahead and make your attack. Make a spell attack roll against the target's AC. Gonna miss, unfortunately, by 6. And unless you're a hero pointing, that's the end of your turn.
I don't have any movement speed, right?
You're out of actions.
Yeah.
2 to cast produce flame, 1 to attack.
That's fine.
That is bringing us to Heka.
I'm gonna do something very similar to what Tiffany did, except for I'm gonna do it on Tiffany. I'm gonna cast Healer's Blessing. I hit the button.
Yeah, you targeted the animated armor. I mean, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong.
No, I'm targeting Tiffany.
I
Like
know,
legit, that's who I had targeted was Tiffany.
There you go. The healer's blessing is up.
And then I'm gonna use the 2-action heal.
All around me are familiar spells cast. I can paint. Jesus Christ, 25 healing to you. Tiffany, that's your turn. But damn, was that a good one?
Yeah.
Clerics don't let
And
clerics.
it could even bypass some of your like not being able to take some of that healing.
Yeah, you do
Love it.
take. It should automatically be calculated with the minor.
But that's
First.
also with the Healer's Blessing.
Take a status penalty equal to half your level minimum 1. So you take a status penalty of 2. So whatever it is, -2.
So
The-
basically, the Healer's Blessing that is cast on you just
Evens it out.
Yeah, basically you have an overpouring of the amount. Oh yeah, Curse of Life -1. So you're healed for 28 in total.
Heck yeah.
As that glaive like is pulled out of you, Tiffany like reaches their hand out in a warm wave, and what would be a lot of blood immediately absorbed back into the body, and the wound closes as if it was never harmed. That brings us to Jorik.
He's just sort of spinning around. It's like, "God, I'm going to get you, son of a!" He's just going to try to bring this just more stabbery.
Go ahead. Are you by any chance trained in athletics? You are.
I think so.
So
I have.
If you want, you can go ahead and try to grab the thing, which would make it off guard if you're successful, and then you could deal sneak attack damage to it if you hit.
Oh.
You don't have to. I'm just
What's my?
trying to help where I can.
Let me look at my athletics here.
I believe should be like +6.
+6. Yeah, that's not terrible. I can give that a try.
All right, go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Sure, I'll give it a shot. Why not?
That's a 25. That is a critical success. So it is considered not only grabbed, it is restrained. So it's not going anywhere. So yeah, it is now off guard and immobilized. It needs to make escape checks in order to get out. Now, if you use your sword, that wasn't an attack technically, so you're gonna use the +6. However, its armor class is now lowered, so it's easier for you to like get in there.
Cool. All right.
Go ahead and make your attack. 14.
14.
Unfortunately, he's gonna miss. You can hero point to reroll and use the higher result.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, go ahead and give me the roll again.
Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. I'm somehow giving. Never mind. I have no hero points left after this. Reroll? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's much better.
That's unfortunately 9's gonna miss. Oh wait, no, you did with the minus. Oh yeah, unfortunately 9 is gonna miss. You still have one more action if you want to go for just like a Hail Mary with a +2 to hit.
The +2.
You gotta roll a 15, but we also rolled 3 nat 1s in this game, so you know what? Fucking math is out the window.
Yeah, he's obsessed enough. He'll give it a shot.
Natural 20 for critical hit. All right, go ahead and hit.
Someone can do damage.
Go ahead and hit critical for me, and we're gonna see why Pathfinder crits are fucking amazing. So that's 20. And then I'm gonna go ahead and roll your sneak attack damage. So it's also that's doubled for an additional 12 points. Basically, it's dead. It's dead. I can't stress how dead it is. However, it is reduced to 0 hit points. So in a 5-foot burst, centered on its point. Oh, that's only hitting its allies and you. I need you to make a reflex saving throw. Oh wait, hold on. Are you trained in thievery?
Yes.
I will give you. You're gonna make 2 rolls for me. First is gonna be a thievery check to see if you can cancel the self-destruct sequence.
Okay.
Because it is going to try to blow up. 16 unfortunately fails. So I then need you to make a reflex saving throw.
Okay,
to see how much you can mitigate.
There it is.
You're completely fine. This thing blows up and you're with that you just duck down and just all the shrapnel hits the wall behind you. That thing is gone. That brings
I'm just like, hey Ron, what do you know? It did blow up.
All right, well, it's that time again, folks, where I'm gonna try to grapple Alice. That hits. Come on, we got this. That's 12 points of damage. We're gonna grab you. And it's gonna work this time. I believe. Believe in me. Grapple. It worked! Natural 20! I believed in myself! Yay! So you're now grabbed in this thing's arms, and it's gonna punch you again while you're down. So it hits you for an additional 11 points of damage. So I'm gonna go ahead and combine those 2 for you for a total 23. And that's gonna end its turn, grabbing you.
Make ready.
Tiffany.
Turn comes.
Okay. Well, Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to cast heal again, honestly. Rinse and repeat.
I'm so
Uh,
evil. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. This is what the character's made to do. Gonna cast it on Rowan.
At least they heal extra?
Yeah.
Alright.
So
That
18.
is 18 healing, if you don't mind. Oh, it automatically does it. Perfect. Alright, you still have one action left if you want to, like, raise your shield again, if you want to move.
I thought was
Healer's Blessing was last
Blessing-
turn, so you don't need to re-up it, I believe.
Okay. It's concentration. I thought that took a action
No,
away,
it's
though.
only sustaining that says it.
Oh.
Concentrate trait is not like 5e. It just means you need to be
You
able
have
to
to have the
think.
brain capacity.
Yeah. It's like
Oh wait,
barbarians
Tiffany might
can't
need
use
to roll for that. Tiffany may need a flat check.
There's no
okay.
butterflies in here. We should be fine. But yeah, I'm gonna raise the shield again because
Perfect.
ouchie.
That ouchie did hurt because it's that armored turn again. And we're gonna go for another attack at you. Gonna miss. Alright, we're gonna do one against Heka. Hey, that does hit. I rolled minimum damage of 5.
Yay.
An 11 is gonna miss. That's gonna end its turn. Pretty straightforward of a turn. Alright, Rowan, you're not looking so great. You're grabbed. So if you want, you can make an unarmed attack to get out, an athletics or an acrobatics check to escape. If not, you can start just trying to hit this thing in general.
Oh yeah, no, I'm using an athletics attack to escape.
Alright, go ahead and give me. It's against the athletics DC. But 21, that's successful. You
25.
escape.
Mhm.
You are no longer restrained. You managed to break free. You have 2 actions left.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go straight for this guy's face with my sword. This will
Okay.
hit at some point.
Gonna miss. 1 action
I'm gonna
left.
do it again.
All right. $18 is going to unfortunately miss. Ending your turn. Dido's not here, so I'll give him an extra. I'll give him their turn later. Jorik.
Quick question.
Quick answer.
I'm going to ask that annoying player question that comes up occasionally.
I love that question.
Is Mayanda been doing anything?
Mayanda is currently in the corner with no weapon, just trying to stay out of the combat because they have no weapon, no armor.
Gotcha. Okay, just checking. Of the 2 people currently directly engaged in melee, which one looks like they're in more trouble?
Both the armor and the statue are both unharmed. That being said, you're going to have an easier time getting sneak attack off if you just take one step to the right.
Yeah,
that armor is going to be off guard your attacks.
Well, yeah, that was my plan, but I was
Okay.
I was asking of my companions which one looks like they're in more trouble. Is what I'm saying.
I feel Heka is, in my opinion.
I'll be healing
Heka
us
is?
both. But I don't have a way of attacking. Well, I do, but I don't.
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah,
they're
all
going
right.
after the supports.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and flank this this creature.
All right.
This being, this critter, and try to engage in more stabbery. Basically.
Go ahead and give me a strike at your highest modifier, please.
Alrighty. Okay, strike.
17 is gonna hit go ahead and roll some damage for me as
Righto.
that carves into it. So that's 6. I'm going to
Alright.
give you an additional sneak attack because I don't know why it's not added for 12.
Okay.
12 breaks through its hardness. So it takes 3 points of damage from it. Because that's all it can do. Yeah, so you managed to find a little bit of undercutting in some of its armor, managed to cut some wires. You have one more action left if you want to make another attack.
Yeah, let's try prying that hole open a little bit, a little more.
Okay, go ahead and make another attack for me.
The +6.
+6.
Gotcha.
Fortunately, 12 is
Yeah.
going to miss, even with its lowered
Okay.
AC. That is going to bring us back to Heka. It is your turn.
I'm gonna use a 2-action heal on Rowan.
I'm going to ask an annoying question, but can you see Rowan?
I don't know.
Rowan
Can
is
I?
like 6'3".
I'm gonna roll D20. Just a 50-50 shot. Okay, yeah, you can. Go ahead.
Rowan is like 6'3" and built like a linebacker.
All right, you get 35 hit points.
And then I'm using my last action to battle medicine myself.
Straightforward turn. I love it.
Make ready.
Well, this is
Oh, is that 35 healing?
yeah, 35 healing to you.
Okay, thank you.
The animated statue is gonna take a step, flanking. See, this is my favorite Pathfinder tactic. The line of flanking with each other is gonna go for Jorik. He's getting tired of having to deal with a pesky champion. That hits. Ooh, I didn't mean that to be secret.
Wow, James.
It's okay though, because that triggers. Why did you say September rolled?
I don't know why it says September.
Wrong character, okay? Wrong hellhole of a game, okay? Okay. So that hits.
I've been struck by the month of September.
That
Do
triggers
you remember?
Glimpse of Redemption if you want to use it.
Yes, finally.
Okay, this thing is going. So your ally gains resistance to this attack. So you're going to lower the amount of damage, and this thing becomes enfeebled to, lowering its to hit and its grapple. Jork, unfortunately, you're still going to take damage as it's going to try to hit you.
Okay.
But this is mitigated. So if you select your character and then hit damage, this will be lowered.
Okay. Character is open. Is it on the hit points?
Oh, you don't
Okay,
have to.
where did
No,
I go?
in the chat, you could just like as long as you have your character like clicked on, you can just put damage.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you take 5 as part of that is mitigated from the champion's resistance. He is still going to try to grapple you as its last action.
Even though it's enfeebled?
Even though it's enfeebled. Listen, it has very straightforward programming. Fortunately, that is still a critical success. You are grabbed. Sorry, you're actually restrained.
Oof.
But that's okay.
You
Brings us to
are
Tiffany.
next.
A conga line is formed of attackers. What
I
would
need
you like
no
to
more
do?
healing, finally.
Yeah, and
Okay.
no healing is needed.
All right.
Weird turn of events.
I am going to first off, I'm going to cast guidance on Rowan.
You don't want to cast it on me? I see how it is.
No, I'm sorry. Like the animated armor are really cool in the conga line, but
Tiffany has a certain type of programming, James.
All right,
Just
Rowan.
boost the highest target.
Rowan, a feeling of guidance brushes over you.
and then I'm going to use I don't know how I'll test out their fortitude with vitality lash.
I'm gonna give you a hint right now. They are immune to
No.
that damage because they are
Okay.
not living creatures.
Then I'll go ahead and do divine lance.
That might do something. Hold on.
Is there a way to target?
Could I give you possibly a better recommendation? It's a
Yes,
spell
I am
slot,
here for it.
but spiritual armament would deal damage.
Okay.
The attack deals spirit damage. Fuck. All your stuff deals spirit or bleeding damage. You're not built
Yeah.
for robots.
I'm not built for robots.
You
I'm
could
Yeah, I'm not
do
built for robot.
You could do like a maybe not a heal, but a support action like forbidding ward, which would give an ally a bonus to their AC against a specific enemy's attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, what
Sounds
ally
great.
would you like to protect?
Guys, squishy.
I'm going to Hecka, do you need it? Or I was gonna either do Yorick because grappled, or Hecka is what I was thinking.
I know my AC is very low,
I will give it to Hecka just to help.
but Jorik has bad guys on both sides.
The armor's up next, though.
I am
And
in
it
the
That
has
middle
is
of a
me.
pain sandwich.
All right, it's up,
Your turn.
which is great because it's gonna immediately start attacking you, Heka. That hits for 6 points of damage. Gauntlet. That hits for an additional 8 points of damage, and then it's gonna Hail Mary its last one. Rolls a 2. It does not do anything. So this one just, once again, rinse, repeat in its programming. Stab, punch, miss the last one. Brings us to Rowan. Alright, this thing's off guard.
That means nothing.
Means it's
But I'm
got a
still gonna
lower
try
AC.
and hit it in the back.
Alright, go right ahead. 19 is going to hit.
Finally.
Just need to deal more than 6 points of damage. 15. It reduces part of this, but hey, damage is damage. It's the first time this thing's actually been hit.
Okay. And then I want to kind of like go like kind of tackle it / shove it out of the way of this fucking conga line.
So that's actually a new action in the Pathfinder remaster called reposition. So go ahead and make an athletics check. This is going to take the
I'm
multiple
trying to
attack
use
penalty.
shove because I have my bronze bull pendant.
Oh, okay. So you want to
So
move.
that
Okay.
it specifically says shove.
All right. Yeah, I'll allow shove. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. As I read
I
over
don't
what your
suppose you
bronze
can tell
bull.
me what this DC is.
You attempt an athletics check to shove. When you activate it, you get a +1 item bonus to your check. Increase the distance you shove by 10 feet on a success, 20 feet on a critical success. All right, so do you use an action to activate it?
Yeah, I still have 2 actions left.
Okay, so one action. I know, I'm just going to give you the effect, just so it happens. Your DC for this is 22.
Okay. I'm just making sure I couldn't use my insurance.
Nat 1.
I better reroll that.
Hero point. Nat 1.
Okay, that should not be allowed. James, what the fuck are you doing here this game?
I don't know at this point. I think Foundry's drunk. It needs
It's
to
the
go home.
Foundry
James?
curse. Every
James, get
time
this
I've
over
been in a
with.
game with Foundry, Foundry like sucks for players, and I apologize. I don't know what it is. It happens in Lancer. Anytime I have to use
I
Foundry,
have
it's
played
just
with you in Foundry before, Barry. That is not true.
true.
This is James's fault.
This
I
is
am
a
blaming them.
statistical anomaly,
I-
even for my bad luck.
Even I don't roll this bad in Mechfinder, and I roll notoriously bad.
I feel
In
like
Mech-
Will Wheaton came in while I was out getting dinner, cursed the computer. The tech gremlins have came in and were like, "You're never going to finish this combat." All right, that's
Apparently
good.
not.
You get your nat 1. I think you go prone off of a shot. You know what? I'm gonna say from the hero point, you don't crit fail. You just fail normally. So you're not gonna go prone from the shove. Because I feel like 2 nat 1s on a hero point is especially mean on a thing that you also sacrificed your talisman for.
Yes.
That's gonna end your turn, however. Bring us to Heka.
I'm going to use 2 actions to drink a healing potion.
Alright, you regain 6. You have 1 action left.
I'm going to cast shield on myself.
Cast shield.
You.
Alright, Jorik. You are currently restrained. So that means you can use an action to either make an unarmed attack, make an athletics, an acrobatics check, or you could just straight up start trying to stab this thing back. It's already off guard to you purely off of positioning.
Ah. So, yeah, I think I'll go ahead and use the if I still have the same number of do I still have the same number of actions?
You still have 3.
All right, yeah. So, well, while I'm here,
Rinse and repeat the stab thing we did to
I'm
the
like-
construct.
I'm
Yeah.
like, and I still got my sword, and I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah, this thing just has like 1 arm on you and just not letting you leave.
Yeah.
It's like on your shoulder.
All right. So we're hitting strike. Ah.
It's a 29. That is going to critically hit it. I'm going
Ooh.
to tell you right now what happens and what I've been waiting all combat to do. It's now considered broken. So its AC goes down. Its hardness goes away. It's now considered broken. Go ahead and roll critical damage for me. And I'm going to
I
go
shall.
ahead and roll your sneak attack. Just so you don't have to worry about it. So
Okay.
that's 16 points of damage on top of an additional 4. That's 20 points of damage to this thing. It cannot mitigate. And then it takes double 4 damage. This thing went from looking great to not good at all. In 1 hit. Yeah, you can follow it up if you want. It's up to you. This thing's considered broken.
All right. So now seeing that, I'm like, I am going to try to wriggle free if I can at this point.
Okay.
I'd like to use acrobatics for that if I may.
Go right ahead.
Um,
Make an acrobatics
there
check.
we go.
Nat 1.
Nope.
What the fuck, guys? This is unprecedented for players. I feel like you're fucking with me at this point. Like, this
Hey,
has to be a
that's-
joke of we're never going to finish this combat. Story is over.
There
This
is
was a
no
low
escape.
combat. This wasn't meant to be difficult. This was.
What did you expect when we started with 3 nat 1s in
I
a row?
thought that would be an outlier, not the theme of the game. My bad for believing in people. You still have 1 action left, by the way. If you want.
Yeah, let's try stabbing him again. If I'm going to
Why
be here
not?
for a while.
Go right ahead. This one you make with the lowest number, because technically
The lowest
escaping is an
number, okay.
attack action.
Okay, I got you. Quick question:
Quick
If I
answer.
attempted to escape, could I attempt to escape again?
Yeah.
Using the third action, because I feel like I'd rather do that than find out whatever it is that's about going to happen while he's locked onto me.
A lot of punching.
Probably. So is that same acrobatics? Do I need
Yep.
to do anything to it before I?
Nope. Go right ahead. I'll do
Alrighty.
all the math
Yeah,
afterwards.
Let's try that.
Okay.
Alrighty.
13's unfortunately not
Christ.
gonna do it.
Well, it's
I'm
better than a
sorry.
1.
However, as we enter round 5, I'm gonna go ahead and roll a d20 to see what Mayanda was doing during the last few rounds. Okay. If anybody wants, they can go ahead and give me a quick perception check.
Sure.
I had to think of my notes. And
Where's
she
perception?
rolled high enough to fully actually pull it off, and I was surprised. Hecka, you see her at the table behind Rowan, interacting with some illusory projections and hits a button. As that happens, both constructs power down. And she just goes, found the off switch because, I wasn't given any weapons or armor to protect myself. So, did it. By the way, this
Thank
wasn't a thing
you.
I just made up. I literally had it in my notes. If she rolled a 18, 19, or 20 on the D20 on a flat check, she would find the off switch of this combat.
Yeah.
Kick the robot.
This would be like, can anyone help unwedge this arm, please?
Yeah, Mayanda comes in, helps you take it off. All right.
I would like to take a few minutes to treat my wounds, because ow.
I'm gonna say you guys can take some time to treat your wounds, look things over. Jork?
I'm just gonna look at Amanda for a second. Can you use a mace?
You know what? I'd prefer and she just like goes over the animated armor's thing, breaks the glaive into like a short sword, and is like, I'd do better with this.
To each their own. Say, sliding the mace back down where I was grabbing for it. Oh God! I think that thing cracked my rib. I just sort of sit down and nurse
As
the
you
wound.
all begin nursing and treating wounds, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. We will be back very soon. So stay tuned as we find out what is further below Torch. Goodbye, everyone.
Gonna be on the
Wrong game, James.
Correct game. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Lost Caravan RPG. We are picking back up with the crew that has started to explore the spaceship that's underneath the town of Torch with Mayanda. You all take about an hour to rest, treat your wounds, and start exploring the ship a little bit. So looking around, you make it past like what appears to be several monitoring rooms. There's a giant biome where clearly several skeletons that have multiple arms lay as if they were skeleton of alien remains. You manage to get past all those. You see a weird not a really rare language that only Jorik is able to translate. It's basically several signs just telling you like cafeteria, storage room. But unfortunately, not the first adventurers here. They've all been picked over. Mayada does find like a hand crossbow and just asks like, "Hey, listen, I think I've proven myself. Just in case, there's some bolts too. I just because another one of those robot things attack us. I don't have to, stand in the corner and do nothing.
I mean, you didn't slight us. I just don't have anything extra to give.
It's fine. I'm
I mean,
seriously.
I can give you a bomb.
I mean, not no. I'll take a bomb. Sure.
Not no.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like 4 of the alchemist fire, so I can hand over one.
All right. Remove one alchemist fire
Yeah.
from your thing. And as you all begin to dive deeper into the ship, you start to see really strange technology, like broken technology, of various mechanical creatures that have all been long destroyed and long rusted. Till I'm gonna go ahead and bring us over. You all make it into the engineering room. Mayanda looks at this room with a level of familiarity.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm not pressing a button again.
I don't
Um,
blame you.
in the center, sorry, not in the center, in the far part of the room is a tube that contains a giant violet flame that shoots up. This looks like to be the beacon of torch.
Huh.
That means nothing to me.
Bill looks at you and goes, "All right, your mission's over. Leave me." That's true. You're done. You did your jobs. Bye now.
Uh,
Um, I just have to say that the contract clearly states that we are to stay with you at all times.
Yes, I will pay. Yeah, you know what? She looks around, picks up like broken bit of a gun that has like a crystal in the center of it, tosses it over to you guys and goes, "That'll get you about 60 pieces, gold pieces. Well worth a contract. Is that enough?" Oh no, I
And I don't
died
want to
in a
go to
mysterious
jail.
accident. Entropy Emporium. Hey, gang. I hope you guys had a great session 0. Welcome. This is gonna be a really awkward scene because you've missed a lot of setup, but we're having a very interesting diplomatic talk about betraying contractors. So they look at you, and Mayanda just goes, "You've done your job. Contract's fulfilled. And we don't need to worry about anything else. Take the way you came back. I died horribly. We all go our separate ways."
I feel like they're gonna know that we're lying. I'm not a good liar.
What would Yeah, you know what? She pulls out the short sword and like graphic warning, just a slight one. Is going to just take a cut into a bit of her circuitry
yeah.
and give it to
Oh.
you. Goes and it heals right back up from her nanites. Yeah, it's proof, evidence that I died, of something to recover. I just want my freedom.
Why are you finding that down here?
That part I unfortunately can't tell you.
Has her demeanor changed at all from?
Wholly has changed. Instead of like the frail, like I'm just a poor innocent person, has now gone into like a commanding boss, like standing fully up straight. Is definitely looking a lot more confident. Listen, you won. You've done your thing. Congratulations. Good job. You did your contract.
Heck is gonna turn to Jorik and sigh and be like, I still have to
Coming in.
I still have to live here.
I
Well-
mean, you don't have to.
Nothing I'm gonna do is interfering with your day-to-day life.
Except if they find the same looking android
They're
again.
not going to find me again.
And how's
Mhm.
that?
Because you already got me down here.
But where are you going after that? How do we know that you're not going to be caught again?
I have different plans, okay? If I get caught again, I get caught again. But I'll be fine. I'm better equipped this time. I know what I'm dealing with.
This time, not like last time.
I don't know how to
So,
put it.
what exactly are you doing down here? Because that might help make the decision.
I'm truly sorry, but I cannot tell you. That is
Of course you
a
can.
personal matter. I'm trying to contact an old friend. The parts I need are down here. Is that good enough?
Is this that evil god they were talking about?
What evil god?
God that they said that you were dealing with?
They're talking about Helion. He is not an evil god. Simply misunderstood.
Enlighten us.
Helion preached a lot about individual freedoms and the liberation of the android people, as well as serving of unity. Fortunately, from what I understand, my absence, unity has fallen, and the stupid Cassandra has taken the divinity drive for herself and has ascended to godhood. My poor master couldn't see wreck to some group of adventurers, ne'er-do-wellers. Thought they knew better, killed him in cold blood.
But are you gonna like kidnap babies or
No,
council members or anything anymore?
no, I'm not gonna do that again. I just need the relay station that's right here to send a signal back to the scrap wall to inform if there's any remaining Lords of Rust or anyone related to them that I am still alive and still of assistance to them.
And then you can do what?
I haven't thought that far ahead.
So, like, how
That's
do
a
we
bit of a
know?
lie. You thought far enough to fake your death.
Yeah.
Not far
I
enough
faked my
to-
death to stop those fucking adventurers from brutalizing me or, God forbid, reviving me just to turn me back into a slave. Thankfully, the android people have been liberated from your barbaric ways. But we are not free everywhere. Not quite yet.
But like, if we left you and you did this, how do we know like stuff's not gonna happen?
I give you my word.
What's that worth?
Much as you're willing to trust it. I have nothing to give you. to prove anything. I gave you that gun. I could tell you how to repair it, so you can use it.
How about if we just sit here and watch and see what kind of message you're trying to relay?
You wouldn't understand any of it. It's in a language you don't speak.
I mean, he frees it pretty good.
He speaks a more modern tongue.
Ah,
So then what's the harm of us listening?
Because you're going to tell people that I'm
I don't know
still
about you, but
alive.
my pronunciation is horrible. So I can't tell anyone anything that gets said.
Fine. Stay and
you know,
watch, I guess.
uh,
And she starts tapping into a signal to send to the scrap wall. Scrap wall, by the way, is hundreds of miles away.
yeah. I, I guess this is the point at which I reiterate that I'm from there. So I, I feel as though, and we haven't really discussed lore a lot here, but I am assuming that the Lords of Rust are bad news.
Extremely. They were all devoted followers of Helion who made everybody's life a living hell. While living in the scrap wall, they had the largest section of land in the scrap wall for themselves, and the Lords of Rust was more of like not like an egotistical thing to call it, but more of like a self-aggrandizing name. Just because they were followers of what they considered to be an Iron God.
Yeah. Okay. And I think I did say at the beginning that my gang was utterly destroyed. So
Oh yeah, probably by the Lords of
like,
Rust themselves. Yeah.
or people associated. Yeah, and it's like, ah. I'm going to turn quietly to the others. I'm just going to say, I would advise us not to let them do this. Lords of Rust annihilated my and anyone I had left that was family. Now, this one was not directly involved, but if they are going to be, I cannot let that stand. But for your sakes, I will not. I will not do anything if you do not wish to do anything here, because I do not wish there to be collateral damage.
Well, I
What
guess you
say
leave
you?
me no choice.
No,
Pulls
I
out
was
the.
talking to the others,
Oh,
but yeah,
sorry. I
presume she could
misunderstood.
hear it.
I assumed she could hear it just by proximity,
Yeah.
and she just says that. Pulls out the bomb Alice just handed to her, throws it at you guys, and that's where we're gonna roll initiative.
Oh,
As
okay.
you are now interfering in her plans, and she is not happy about that.
I mean, that's 1d4 damage if anyone actually gets hit.
It. You know what? Tiffany's in the front. I'll go ahead and make an attack. That is. That's gonna hit. So Tiffany, you're just gonna take 1d4 damage. So you're gonna take 3 damage. Here, I'm gonna show it to everybody. Real to everyone. Everyone else, I'm gonna go ahead and do this for you. You just take 1 splash damage as the bomb hits you. Boop. That's where we're gonna begin our combat with Rowan and Jorik both need to still roll initiative. It
Yeah, I'm
is.
finally loading into Foundry. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Do you want me to do it for you? If you just want me to.
Yeah, your rolls are better than mine.
I'll have to find out. I rolled a 3. So it's an 8 for your initiative. Jorik?
I assume this is not a situation in which I can roll this with stealth.
No. I'm gonna give you
No.
you know what? I will allow deception because you were trying to hide it away, so you could still get your
Yeah.
class feature off. So go ahead and roll your
Intended.
deception with
See what we can do here.
natural 20. That thing is so Meanda's gonna be off guard to you because you go first.
Excellent.
Oh no, she beats out your initiative.
Go.
Even with a natural 20, she just rolled she also rolled a natural 20 on her initiative. That is hilarious.
Versus.
All right, Hecka, you're up first.
Let me read this. Hmm.
I mean, technically,
Yeah.
glimpse of reaction actually works here. So,
Do you want to trigger it?
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna undo all that damage because she'll just choose not to throw it.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Go ahead. I keep cutting you off.
I'm gonna use. This might be early to do this, but I don't know what this bitch can do. So let's just cast some forced mercy.
Forced to mercy. Ooh, you're trying to get me to be non-lethal. So mean. Oh, I got a failure. By 2. So I'm affected for 1d4 rounds. For 2 rounds, all my attacks are now non-lethal. Motherfucker. It's gonna make killing people pretty hard.
I mean, for 2 rounds.
That could be enough.
And I am going to use my last action to shield myself.
Okay, that's a shield. Ending your turn. Alright. We might have some rogue v rogue action going on here.
Oh, I should have cast. That's
Use an action to stride up. The only closest person they have is Tiffany.
Yep.
They're gonna attempt to feint against you. Because it does not look like they have a thing that. Nope. Okay. Boop, boo, doo, doo, doo. Feint. Oh, really? Is the android not good at emotional stuff? Thank you for telling me that. Failure by 2. Well, we're not getting sneak attack, but we sure are gonna shoot you. Sorry, I hit you with their sword. Not shoot you. That is a 6. It's gonna hit by +6. So that is total of 9 damage on the attack. As she just runs up, uses that makeshift short sword, and just slashes you across the chest. Ending her turn, because that's all 3. Alright, Jorik. You have a betrayer.
Turning around, like just point as I'm stepping around because I'm going to step around to the other side. Basically,
Love that.
Um,
Get them
and be
flat-footed.
like, I'm like, that was a private conversation, you know. And I'm like, you almost had me until you said the Lords of Rust, and I'm going to swing.
Love it. All right. Thing is off guard, so their AC is lowered. Sadly, no hardness this time. So mean.
Go.
You want to potentially
Nope.
reroll that? If you haven't used your hero point?
No, I used my hero point earlier.
Unfortunately, that's going to miss then.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, standing at least here, I'm going to be here providing flanking. I'm going to go ahead and activate my shield again. So it's like, just in case.
Get your shield back up. Tiffany, you're up.
So I'm assuming the same android rules as like the things that we ran into.
No, different. So this is not a construct. This is a full
Oh.
being. So rules apply as normal. like as if it was any other creature. This thing is not
Oh dang!
does
I
not
could
have
have done blood
immunities
vendetta.
to like you. Hey, if you want, you could just say you do that right, like off of the. No, because actually you couldn't, because they chose
would
not to
reach them.
choke. They chose not to throw the bomb because
Oh.
your champion protected you with a glimpse of
But I got
redemption.
hit by the sword attack.
You did! So Blood Vendetta does go off. Good catch there. That is the correct damage. Go ahead and cast that into chat, and I'll go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw. Also, I just love how awesome this art looks. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the correct art from Mayanda, but I do think it looks cool.
It's really good.
It is really good.
Okay. The will saving throw on my end. Not if it gets a disease, poison, or radiation. Fail by 8. Jesus Christ. Alright, so it takes full persistent bleed damage. Until the bleeding stops, the target has weakness 1 to piercing and slashing damage. Would go great for your rogue. Yeah, as they cut into you, a giant gaping wound of the same type opens on them, and they're like stunned by this. And they go, "No, I used to have powers like that too, and then somebody took them away." You have 3 actions. What would you like to do? Oh, and Nikki has given everybody given a floating hero point to whoever needs it.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're saving us in spirit tonight.
Yay.
I am going to. Yeah, I'm going to use Vitality Lash.
Ooh. Okay, go ahead and cast that for me. Okay, so it's a saving throw on my end. Unfortunately, rolled a natural 20. They're unaffected.
Understandable.
We have 1 action left if you want to, like,
Shield up.
shields up. I feel like I'm in Star Trek. The amount of shields that are going on right now.
Shields.
Shield.
Shield!
Fucking Sulu's out here running overtime, just pressing so many levers at once, you know? All right. Rowan, you are up.
I'm gonna go ahead and close distance. I don't think I'm allowed to stop, use an action, stop, and use an action, right?
What do you mean?
Like if I wanted to stop,
Oh, like break
lay
up
on
your movement?
hands on Tiffany, yeah.
So if you wanted to use 1 action, well, from where you were, like, wait, hold on. Do you mind if I just reset you real quick?
Yeah.
You can still use lay on hands right here as 1 action
Okay.
because they're adjacent to you.
Yeah, then I would first go ahead and cast Lay on Hands on Tiffany and give her back just a little bit of that damage.
I'll take it.
And you get a +2 status bonus to AC for 1 round, so your armor class is effectively increased by 4 because circumstance and status bonus stack with each other. So
And
goddamn.
because I automatically cast Lay on Hands on the highest too. So
Ooh, yeah, that's 12.
yeah.
All right, so
And
that's 1
then
action.
I'll move up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's really poor to take advantage of people, especially when they're trying to help you out. And then he's just going to aim for her and
That barely hits, but that still hits because they're off guard. For a wait, hold on, it's a 22 to hit. Yep, that hits. Go ahead and roll. You still have targeted Tiffany, by the way. I just want to let you know that.
oh,
Poor Tiffany, who just got healing, is now getting a great sword. The love
sorry.
I'm feeling in this group. All right, that's 6 points of damage to the android. Ooh, they're not doing well. That's all 3 of your actions, bringing us back up to Heka.
I'm gonna cast Needle dart.
Goddamn needle darts.
Let's
What
just
type?
do. There, you said there's a lot of adamantine around here, right? So that'd
In
be
these
like
parts, and yep. You're in the
so
earth right now. You could easily just like call down adamantine in little like
yeah.
bursts to come like. All right, go ahead and give me that attack. That's a 13. Unfortunately, that's gonna
I'm
miss.
gonna Pura Point.
All right, that is a hero point used for a total of 20, which just hits. Go ahead and roll some damage. Man, we're not a. Why are we so mean to the person who betrayed you? They take 11 damage because they actually have weakness 1 to piercing damage right now.
Oh, that's why I use. And then I'm gonna use my last action to go over here and give our champion a flank.
So this is another Pathfinder maneuver that I call the Cross of Death. It's very simple. You take one enemy, you get on all sides, and that bitch ain't going nowhere. They can't move. Well, they can. They have to make acrobatic strikes. And then they're fucking flanked on all sides. This is a deadly maneuver,
They should have stayed
everybody.
against the wall where they were.
You shouldn't stand against the wall. They're gonna attempt an acrobatic. Actually, they can step right here to get out of the flank. And then we're gonna hit. We're gonna feint on Jorik, which is probably not the greatest one. Yeah, critted diversion is just the same. That's a success. So you're off guard to this next attack, which means I can potentially deal sneak attack damage to you if I hit. I miss by 2, even
Yes.
with you being off guard. Wait, hold on. No, actually, you being off guard would give you the equivalent because it didn't auto apply. So that does hit, unfortunately. Does give you give sneak attack.
And off guard,
What
I didn't see the
Alex is
attack coming,
saying-
right?
No, you did. You have nimble dodge. You negate that
do.
shit right out of the fucking way.
Aha!
As they roll to like hit you with their short sword, you roll in succession, and it's just like two like rogues looking at each other with knives in their hands, getting ready to go. Yeah, that I can't argue with that. That's just good fucking planning. Shit, that's all their actions. I don't know what else to do. All right. Well, it's gonna end their turn. Wasted the whole thing because somebody had a good reaction. Brings it to your turn.
Okay. So I'm just sort of in kind of a crouching position, and I'm just sort of after I've just sort of moved out of the way, I'm like, and I will tumble over here.
Love
Well,
that.
tumble. I just move over there, and like bring the sword around to
Go
once
ahead.
again attempt stabbery. Strike.
That is a 22. That is gonna hit. They are off guard, which also means you get sneak attack on this hit. Go ahead and roll some
Excellent.
damage. I'm gonna go ahead and roll your sneak attack for you.
Righto. Thank you.
For 10, let's see if we get a 6 on the die. 14 points of damage. Ouch. So they take actually additional damage because of the weakness. So they are not looking good, but they are continuing to fight for their cause. You have one action left if you want to follow that up with another one.
Just renew the shield. That's it.
Renewing the shield it is.
Yeah.
Somebody's feeling defensive today. Okay. Shield is back up. That brings us to Tiffany.
I'm gonna use Divine Lance.
Fucking hell. Divine Lance. Yep. This is where it all turns around for me. Go ahead.
I can use all my spells finally.
We built this character for this one combat, and it's gonna show, damn it. All right. You hit me. Go ahead, cast Divine Lance. Hit the attack. Oh, that was so close to that one. I was panicking.
I was
22
freaking
is
out.
gonna hit. Go ahead. for 6 points of spirit damage, which is a new type of damage. But androids, we have mentioned this all stream, do have spirits. They have souls. So that hurts like a motherfucker. As that, like, a bolt of, like, pure divine radiance leaves your hand, overwhelming with vitality. You have one more action left.
I'd like to use guidance. And I'm going to give it to Rowan.
Okay.
To get a
Rowan,
+1.
you now
That
have...
it's not able to get into the foundry again.
Alright, well, I'll tell you this. You're one step away from just striking the person down.
Yeah,
Like-
no, I need to be in range.
Okay, you're in range. For Theater of the Mining, you rush forward, sword in
Yes.
hand. Do you make a strike? Or do you do something
Is-
else?
She's looking pretty damaged, so yes.
Alright, we go with first strike with a +10 guidance, bringing us to a +11. For a 26, that hits as you cleave into them. That is a total of 9 damage, which is just enough to cut them down. Bayanda's body falls as combat ends. The humming of the fire in the engine room and you are all set. Your contracts are technically fulfilled. The Lords of Rust shall not be contacted. If there are any remaining out there, I'll give you a hint. All of them are dead.
That's what I figured.
Well, no, hey, maybe 1 or 2 will survive. You know, if Paizo ever lets me write at Iron Gods 2, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
James, if anybody knows who to talk to, it's you.
James Jacobs or Luis Loza, depending on if it's a Lost Omens book or an actual AP line.
See?
I know too many
We should-
people.
We should probably take the vessel back.
Oh yeah, we probably should have proof.
Yeah.
I will say, you can tell once the curse has taken effect on Tiffany, her brain is much clearer. She speaks much more articulately. Like she sounds more intelligent.
A fun way of using your curse. Yeah, you all. I'm gonna go ahead and transition us back to the main. You guys
I mean,
take. Sorry, no, go ahead. No, you. That's all you.
I understand that we might want to like bring her body back, but maybe we should only bring some of it. After all, she was very concerned about them like bringing her back and using her body as a slave, and I worry they might actually do something like that.
Well, from what the guy up in the council room said, a new soul will enter this. It will not be her.
They didn't seem really inclined to be nice to anyone in this body, to be fair.
And
You do have a bomb.
York, I will say you'd know this off the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
Slavery has been disbanded from the android slave trade specifically has been disbanded for the last 8 years when the technically fell. Slavery in general, just as a fair warning for everybody, is illegal in all of the countries of Galarian. Unfortunately now we do have capitalism. Argue with that as you may wish about how much that technically constitutes slavery or not. But I'm saying specifically for her, worrying about entering an android slave trade is literally illegal. And with the technically being
nothing.
dead. Listen, I'm just saying, it is heavily against the Black Sovereign's wishes. And if you are found doing any sort of trade like that, you are executed. If If this was a different type of game, a more serious one, we could easily talk about other ways. But for the sake of this, I'm just gonna say it's impossible for her to enter any sort of bondage or servitude. Um,
Okay, voice of God, I understand you might be saying that, but at the same time, she did want freedom. So I feel like at the very least, we should just kind of find a way to cremate her body and maybe let her at least have that freedom.
Voice of God responds back to you saying, "That's very possible. If you leave a body alone, the body will actually start. You guys see this, as the soul leaves the body. Um, so androids have artificial aging. Um, her her pink hair falls out, and it starts like becoming like this bare, like necessities robot essentially of just like this husk, no features, no nothing, like even the circuitry powers off, and it's just like you just see like it's really creepy at first until you get used to it. It's just like the skin starts like stretching and moving at times because nanites are actually like in the bloodstream starting the process of getting the body ready for its next vessel. So you can still move it and be fine.
Yeah. So it's going to be somebody else when it wakes up. Do we want to? Do we want to destroy it so that doesn't happen? Is that your thought here? So that doesn't happen to whoever's next.
I mean,
I
something
mean,
else we could do is get it out from under here, put it somewhere safe during the change so they can't see who it was before.
I mean, I follow the goddess of travelers and a lot of other things for a reason. I'm more than happy to wait around with whoever this may become and get them out of the city. And hopefully Desna and good luck is on the side that whoever this is doesn't actually try and kill me automatically. You guys live here, so I'm not gonna ask you to leave, but like
Ah, I was waiting to see if what wakes up is a friend or enemy. Sounds like a fun game.
Yo, Inner Point, welcome. We're wrapping up our Pathfinder game and currently talking about
Mm,
morality sets when it comes to
Yeah.
androids and during the
Yeah.
reconstruction phase.
And I just want to make it clear that while I'm having this moral discussion, I am also stripping the place of anything that might be left over that might be valuable.
You actually find a few things that are of like technological. You find a specific type of like tool sets used to like repair technological items. A set
Hmm.
that so there's a condition that specific technology weapons have called time worn, means that, like it hasn't been used in a long time. This set helps remove the like oldness from it, like essentially removes the rust from the item so it can be used. So you know that you could use this potentially with the gun that you were handed, because that is a real gun.
Mm.
You see like where to put the battery slot and everything, and so you know if you spend enough time with Konar Bane, you could probably get this thing up and working again.
What kind of batteries does it take?
The same one people get paid in.
Harbulary batteries.
So silver batteries. They're called silver batteries.
do we want to trust this to the government or not?
Oh, no.
Sorry. Oh, you're
No.
serious. Sorry. No, up to you folks. Then maybe they'll understand.
I
Maybe
mean, they
they
didn't
won't
say we
seek to
had
take
to bring back
advantage of
anything.
someone. Maybe they won't take advantage of someone waking up. Who knows?
No, I meant like all the stuff they asked us to bring back. We don't have to actually bring back anything if we say nothing ever really happened and she died before we got down here.
we even have proof of the one area with the minions that she summoned those as soon as we got down there to try and kill us.
Ah.
And we had to quickly dispatch, and we were unable to finish the mission.
We still got the remains of this little fellow, he says, holding up the spy.
I mean, she did also turn off the machines. Could have been the on button too.
I mean, to be fair, I think I was the one who pressed the on button on that.
It's called a lie. We're lying.
Oh. Still, though.
To make it look like she set us up in the room before here.
Sure, yes. We can also just say we never got through that first door. Doors are pretty hard for adventurers, I find.
Mm-hmm.
And fences.
Well, she already very kindly gave us proof that she'd been destroyed before she attacked us, so that's always helpful.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to go that way.
We should find a safe place for this android to wake up.
Yes.
Does it look like the vessel itself needs to be healed in any way, or is it just doing
looks
it
like
all on its own?
It'll do that on its own. It's part of a subroutine that automatically enacts when its vessel dies.
Okay.
But sure, I would say you guys eventually manage. We don't need to get specific. Find a place for this thing to wake up, safe from any government hand. Don't know why we're not trusting the government in this case, but sure. I get it.
Some of us worship the goddess of freedom.
Listen, you know what? Androids are free people in Numeria. It's actually one of the safer regions for androids to be in, especially if you take it to Starfall, which is the main capital of Numeria, which has the highest android population in all of the world.
Yeah, but government.
The government isn't evil in every single story.
No, it is. It's
I get.
Fuck the establishment.
It's a capitalist system. Of course, it's evil.
This is more. Listen, we could talk about the socioeconomic status of Numeria a different day. It is technically a capitalist system, and you're right in that matter, but regardless, you eventually find a safe place that you all deem fit for this body to rest and eventually wait for its new host to enter. This is where we're going to end tonight's game. Thank you to all my players, and thank you, chat, for being with us through so many nat ones. I mean, an astonishing number. I cannot fathom the amount. 8 nat ones. This is a record.
Is that all? I feel like there were more.
We had many like 2s and 3s. There were a lot. I literally went through and counted. And
3 of those 8 were
3 in a row. Like, anyways.
Between me and Dido, we have 5.
Anyways, fuck statistics. Thank you all for being here and joining us. We're gonna go ahead and close out the stream. So we're gonna go around the table once more. You're gonna tell us who you are, what you're working on, and if you are got anything cool. So we're gonna start with Mary.
Hi everybody, I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me online over on the Hell site at Nerd on Wheels 15, or you can find me everywhere else at the Nerd on Wheels. Coming up this this Monday, we've got another episode of Lancer, and we're getting into our new season of Hell's Gate. We've been promised romanceable NPCs and horrible things that have to do with their backstories. It's going to be a grand old time. Then on Tuesday, you can head over to 2000 Tales Roleplay, where I host the Struggle Bus, a talk show. And this week we are talking about how to create NPCs and our favorite NPCs. Wednesday, you can catch me over on Enchanted Sorcery Productions for Fandelver and Below, Halia's Harriers. And then I think that's all I got for this week. Yeah, that's it. I've got a light week this week.
Hell yeah. All right, next up, Alice.
Hi guys, my name is Alice. She, they pronouns. You can find me everywhere online at Alice Hart, or if the adult film star has stolen that, then it'll be at Hellion Hart. My next, you can find me actually. If you guys feel like doing anything else tonight besides our raid, we just released our second episode of Old Gods of Appalachia on YouTube for Lost Caravan. It's one of our straight to YouTube series going up every Saturday. Outside of that, you'll find me on Fridays over on Nerds with Dice playing Apocalypse Keys. And on the 11th, back here on Lost Caravan, I will be playing Icon with Hoop. There's a few more things in the works for this month that I can't say anything about yet. But if you feel like following me on social media, that's where you'll hear about them first. And then, of course, you can always find me on the Actual Play podcast. Welcome to Reddington. It's the Monster of the Week actual play, where I am a producer, editor, and player.
Okay. Next up is Other Doc. Jim.
Well, thank you all very much. This has been great. I just delighted in the whole thing, and all just the character interactions were glorious. Thank you so much for this, and thank you for putting up with my foolishness. Yeah, we had a let me see the thing it was just very cool. It was neat. I have not actually gotten to play Pathfinder for about a decade. So it was neat sort of seeing how things have been updated. So this was very cool. So thank you all very much for this experience. I am Jim Ryan. I am Other Doc on Twitch and the majority of the other social media places. Anywhere that I'm not Other Doc, I am Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my various audio thingies and links to other projects, as I have tried to slowly get them done. I've got a few irons on the fire, but right now the only one I can that is ready for me to talk about is starting tomorrow afternoon on my Twitch channel. We are finally kicking off our Gothic sci-fi campaign. Alas for the Angry Void. This is a reskinning of the Powered by the Apocalypse game, Alas for the Awful Sea. And we have a delightful crew. And tomorrow we are doing our session 0. We've actually already recorded it, so it's going to be a pre-recorded thing. But this is the first time it's going to be seen by anyone. Streaming it tomorrow at 3 Eastern. And it will then we'll be doing our game live Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern on my channel, OtherDoc, OTHERDOC. So for anyone who would like to come and see that, it would be much appreciated. Thank you all. This has been great.
You're very welcome. Dido.
Hey, I'm Dido. I played the cleric tonight. I will be doing a couple of more streams later this month. I've got Demigods on the 17th, and then Beacon on the 25th. But also you can catch, I am also doing on a straight to YouTube where I do Cult. It comes out every Friday. Second episode went up yesterday. There is a lot of emotional trauma that is not even caused by the GM. The players have been doing it to each other. Oh. So it's definitely a wild ride on the highway.
I guess that leaves just me. Hi, I'm James. I've been your game master for the evening. Big Numeria nerd, as you can tell. I mostly write Pathfinder 2nd edition stuff when I'm not doing other work, aka other Pathfinder related content. Um, I will be back on the 14th, so on Valentine's Day, we are doing a honey heist. Except we're throwing a Valentine's Day spin, so we're gonna be raiding a bridal expo, and that is the only note I have written down on my session prep. I refuse to prep for that game. And then I'll be back for other games such as Mech Finder, both the YouTube one and the one shot, Beacon, Lancer, where we could finally romance each other without getting interrupted. Yeah, that I'll kind of be all over the channel this month, so I look forward to hanging out and hopefully seeing everybody again. We are gonna raid High Shelf Collective. Hopefully, they're also not wrapping up. They're playing one of my favorite games, Die, based off the amazing comic book series, also known as Die. Um, so yeah, I hope everybody had a good time and forward to seeing you again very soon. Goodbye, everybody.